3 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
There are new sources of help for shoppers trying to figure out what to get.
Let's say you need something for Dad.
Absolutely. I'd love to help. Do you have any ideas about what your dad likes, or maybe any hobbies or interests he has?
Chat GPT bots are driven by AI. Walmart and Target are using them. Google has new shopping tools in its search engine.
AI is going to take the grunt work out of shopping.
Danielle Buckley is a Google product director.
This is AI that's going to be doing the work for you. It's going to be taking action on your behalf and calling the stores.
And it can keep to your budget.
It'll let you set the characteristics of the product that you want, as well as a price that you're willing to pay for the product.
Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Tomorrow is the shortest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. It signals the winter solstice. Solstices have been celebrated for ages, and monuments like Stonehenge align with the sun's paths. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GRAVY25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be a mostly cloudy one, going up to 44, clearing low 29 tonight. Windy and colder tomorrow with sun at 32. Clouds increase Monday, 38. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Dagger, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
He's downright entertaining, and he's on the voice of Pittsburgh. Michael Bartley, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Oh, I hope there's no disappointment. It is not Michael Bartley. It's John and Rachel. So, ta-da!
Right.
Here we are. We love
Right.
Michael Bartley. We miss him. He's not on today. We're here from 2 to 5. And it's that awkward, weird time of the year, the season, where you're going to hear a lot of us, because when people are on vacation, who do they call? A couple of Jags to come
That's
in
right.
and fill in.
And I liked his swing music there.
I do too.
I mean, I like our music bed when it
Same.
comes in, but that
Same.
was pretty good. You know, Michael usually is in here. What's he talking about? You know, we're going to change
What
things
isn't
up a
he
little bit.
talking
The
about?
bottom line is,
Yes.
we're not going to, we might talk about Greenfield.
Okay.
I'd be happy to
I'm
talk
always
about
willing to talk
Greenfield.
about Greenfield.
Right.
Great place.
Yeah, but we are going to talk about a bunch of things, and so first thing off is that we're going to talk about two busy things that are somewhat related, but because they're busy. I was in the Strip District today.
Oh, okay.
busy.
Oh, okay.
Like
Gotcha.
so busy. And you might say, John, you're a Pittsburgher. You should know not to go down there on a Saturday, especially the Saturday before the holiday.
What time did you go?
I was there right around 12.
Okay.
And
stupid.
Well,
I'm sorry.
And the good
Are
news,
you new to town?
Right. The good news is that I was one of those Jags that found a place to squeeze in my car.
Oh, boy.
Put my four ways on
And jump
run
out.
into Helltown Brewing to drop off a couple of prizes for something they're going to do tonight.
Okay.
And then I was out. But the other Yinzer part of me knows that I don't sit on Smallman Street right after you turn left after the convention center and sit in all that traffic going up along the terminal building.
Sure. What do you do?
The terminal building.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to Penn and turned down like 16th or whatever. Turned left and then came back down, like by the EMS office or the Irish church.
Yes.
So I know my
You
way
have your
around
own
a little
little
bit.
hack.
And I put my four ways on. Nobody, hey, you Jag, nothing like that. Went in, dropped off my stuff. But I was glad to see there was hustling and bustling. But
When you say that, does that mean lines out the door? What was it?
I looked in Mancini's because I thought I might go buy a pepperoni roll for lunch.
Sure.
It was not out the door, but they had, if you know what it looks like in there, they had the counter around by the bread freezers and to the door.
Okay.
So they probably had 20 people in line there.
Yeah, and in that little store, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was busy. It was busy.
Busy.
In the meantime, in another term, you've had a busy week.
I had a busy week. I'm going to go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off. Do not think that this is going to be depressing, because it's not. But I lost my mom last Saturday. It's crazy to think that today is a week.
Yeah.
I woke up today like, oh my gosh, amidst all the craziness, who realized that a whole week had gone by,
Right.
you know? And so certainly don't want to make anybody sad over the holidays, but it made you realize that there's a reality that people lose people over Christmas.
Yeah.
And, one of the biggest rationalization I had was everybody talks about the firsts, right? The first everything is going to be the hardest, birthday, Christmas. And I had this revelation with my family the other day where I said, Christmas is our thing. As so many families, Christmas has always been our thing. We did the 7 fishes. We're a very tight family. So how in the heck do you get through Christmas? And to me, my rationale was, this literally happened on the 13th that my mom passed. And so we're grieving. We just, put her to rest the day before yesterday. So it's so fresh, so new, that by next Wednesday and Thursday, when we're celebrating Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'm not going to feel any different than I do right now, because that's not enough time, right?
That's a good point.
So I feel that there was some blessing in the fact that she passed when she did. There's so many blessings that I pulled out of her passing. One, my husband and I, it's so interesting. We've not even posted one picture. As you know, we were in Las Vegas. Our 25th wedding anniversary was in October. And we thought that we would, instead of celebrating here, we planned and saved and had a trip to Vegas with a couple of different things that we were going to do there. And as I was getting ready to go see the band that we were going to see at the Sphere, my husband and I went to dinner and found out that my mother did not, she had gone in for an emergency situation and she did not make it. And so we had to spend a day of travel to get back. And to me, some of those blessings were, I was spared from seeing her like that at her worst time. I did not, unfortunately, I wish I could say my brother and my father were spared. They were not. But, there's little blessings that you take away in the darkest of times. And so I just wanted to rip that Band-Aid off and say, the takeaways for me have also been, you were at the funeral home where hundreds and hundreds of people came through. And I just want to say thank you so much, because people who have posted on social media or on my dad's page, on Johnny Angel and the Halos, on our Yajagoff page, specific messages through Messenger on Facebook, text messages, cards, things that are just mailed to my house or the funeral home. Amazing. I mean, it restored my faith in people. And one of the things that really got us through the 8 hours of waiting for hundreds of people to walk through were the stories that they told. And one of them being that they love hearing us on Fridays and Saturdays. And that was such a great takeaway. So I just wanted to say thank you, because that means a lot.
And Rob Pratt.
Well, so the Band-Aid's ripped off, but now I'm going to cry. My children, who obviously are they're 22, 18, and 16. They're like oddly on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Like they're more Instagram followers. They don't really know how Facebook works, but they're on there to sort of keep up. And each of them at different times came across what they said was the best video they've ever seen. And it was Rob Pratt in his home studio. And he was acknowledging the conversation he most recently had with my dad about Jenny Lee Breakfast Nook and his legacy as a musician in Pittsburgh, and how, his music has helped so many different people, and what a legend he's become in our city. And he used that as the jumping off point for the grief, because Rob's takeaway with my dad was, yes, there's this great music legacy. My dad preserves Pittsburgh the way we preserve Pittsburgh, but it was more so my father's relationship with my mother and how he always referred to her as his soulmate.
Yeah.
And, went on to say that my father was my mother's paper boy, and, things like that. They've just been together. The story goes they've been together since they're 13, and my mother was 73 when she passed. So 60 years together. It's just they had a wonderful life, and we were so blessed and lucky to live the life that we lived. But she was the true matriarch, and she really was behind John Angel and the Halos. She was behind the trips that we went on, through the cruises, through the band. And she did help, push him along and make him the person he is. So Rob, for what it's worth, it touched more than just me and my husband and my father and my brother. And, it went into the next generation. My daughter actually commented and said, "Sir, you don't know me, but this meant the world."
Ha,
so yeah, it was
that's
great.
cool.
And just to hear, to see people's comments was great.
Yeah.
How was that? Wasn't
was
depressing,
good.
right?
No. Hey, it's allowed to be.
John, I don't know about you. If anybody wants to call and share a story, I'm willing.
That would be wonderful. Yeah. 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020, because we are going to talk a little bit about this. Grief, because there are other types of grief, and this is the holiday, and you hear everybody be happy, and there are some people that aren't for various reasons, and some are temporarily unhappy, some are long-term unhappy,
right?
And some of those are due to relationships that are broken. So all those things we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
But give us a call if you want to share a story, or if you just want to chat it up with us. We're in. It's John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA.
Steel City Shredding, Pittsburgh's premier local option for shredding and document management. We make it convenient with on-site shredding at your business or quick drop-off at our Strip District location. We also offer hard drive destruction, e-waste removal, plus new scanning and digitizing services to eliminate the clutter and boost security. Steel City Shredding, trusted, convenient, and 100% recycled. Visit steelcityshredding.com.
Experience casino like never before at Bet365. Spin your way through your favorite games. Check out our awesome table games and face off against a real live dealer. And play exclusive games that you simply can't play anywhere else. New Bet365 players get a 100% deposit match bonus up to $1,000 plus spins. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T&Cs apply.
Make 380 Auction of Murraysville your next stop for name brand furniture. Stop in and compare their quality and pricing. 380 Auction has name brand furniture for less. Before you buy, shop 380 and save on your next furniture purchase. 380 Auction is open Tuesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call 724-339-3132. That's 724-339-3132. Or log on to shop380.com and save.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is Rachel and John jagging around KDKA, filling in for Michael Bartley today. I mean, who actually can fill in for Michael Bartley?
No one.
Right, but we will do our best. We are normally here in the evenings.
Big shoes to fill, and I have big feet.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And one thing I want to remind you is yesterday morning, our parade hit.
Yes.
So just go over to the jagoff.com or YouTube and watch the parade. It's 46 minutes of actually pretty fun stuff. And
So
knowing
fun.
that we lived it and had a good time, then to actually to watch it and see how they kind of edited it all down in a nice tight manner, looks pretty
I've
good.
not sat and watched the entire thing yet. I've seen like little pieces. I love just even the intro. The whole Cajon concept, and I know you had, who did you have on? Caleb?
Yeah, Ben.
Or Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, literally one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
They're so good.
They're so good.
They have
And
such a cheeky, I don't know.
The
They're
song is good. We
new
played it on
and
kazoo.
fun.
It's the real song that you could get off of Spotify
Mhm.
is even better. But so I want to remind everybody to do that. But you know what's interesting, like the things that you went through this week and we went through from a work standpoint, and the people that. The traditions of Western Pennsylvania are so different,
right,
than
I love
other
that.
parts of the country, and I do love that.
Oh,
and I look,
wait, who are you comparing to?
you know,
What did
like
you learn?
California, they don't do the visitations at funeral homes anymore. I don't think they're.
I didn't know that.
I think just that's a northeastern kind of thing. I'm not sure who all does that still, just because of finances and I think COVID affected some of that. But it's interesting that how many people came to tell the stories, as you said earlier. But the idea of that, there's a visitation at the funeral home, and there are mass cards. There's the thing that everybody goes through, and it's the same all over Western Pennsylvania. And I don't know that anybody celebrates life like that, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I found it interesting. If you're just catching up, I was talking about, I lost my mom last week. It's been a week today. And so I spent this week obviously preparing and grieving and getting ready for the send-off and all those kinds of things. And you bring up a really good point as far as cost, right? So something that my generation always knew was that the generations before us would have like burial plots.
Mm-hmm.
My parents did not, and I think it's part of why I just figured they were eternal. Like my parents were just, I was gonna be lucky enough to always have my parents, and so when my brother and my dad and I had to like sit down and talk to the Cunsacks funeral home folks and see what our plans and our arrangements were going to be. The price of plots, sorry, I mean, for anybody who's advertising, it's costly. If it's not something that you've thought about or you already have invested, it's not an expense that you want to incur.
Well, and I think it's, again, another interesting thing is just as far as, again, I've witnessed so many traditions, the food in the basement and all that kind of, that people do that now. But the idea here that, my parents actually chose to not be buried, only because they said you guys aren't going to come anyways. You're all too busy.
Right.
And now I do know of a very close friend who is younger, and his wife visits the grave site all of the time.
Sure.
Sits there, plays songs, and takes the grandkids and thinks about But I think for the most part, aren't we just so busy? It becomes a practical thing as far as I know. There's that old school of like, well, I don't want this to happen, I don't want that to happen. But when you think about the cost. Mm-hmm. And is anybody really going to go utilize that space? I don't know.
I just think, like anything, times are changing in terms of, and sure, time is always going to be that thing because we live in a world now where everything, we always say, like, everything is competing for time.
Yes.
So visits to a cemetery certainly would be that. And if you have an option to do something else, you're probably going to take it. So yes, I agree with that. But more so, I think it's just evolution. People just, it's not the thing they do anymore.
Yeah.
And my family, I say all the time, like our Italian family, my grandmother was not a believer in that. People found, like you said, your friend Gina, that she feels comfortable going. She thinks that that's her time. But my grandmother would say, I mean, you're not going to visit me and I don't expect you to. So that sort of took that pressure off. We were not cemetery visitors. Yeah. So we did have my mom cremated. And interesting enough, my father has purchased my brother and I urns, and my kids like huddled me. I don't know if you saw them, but at the funeral, but they were like, what are we doing with it? We don't have it yet.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's new to me. It's not something that we ever experienced. We just kind of would go to the cemetery, and then to me, that person was in my heart. I just talked to that person wherever. But I was never a cemetery visitor. And I don't know that it's because of time. I think it's just, to me, I have my own relationship,
And I think, but what you just said, it goes back to how we started this segment in that, we always say Pittsburgh is about 10 years behind the rest of the world. And I think it's a unique thing to at least the Northeast here. As far as to still go
I didn't
to
realize
the
that.
cemetery and
Okay.
things like that. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I've not decided what step is next. Like my father made it very clear that he would like to put her on a mantle. My brother will be doing the same thing. I don't know. I don't know that I would do that. My dad is on this kick, and if you're listening, Dad, I think it's so funny. We've had this conversation, but he keeps saying, we had a family friend who lived in like Philly, New Jersey area, and when her brother passed, she had some kind of like charm holder made, and she would wear it around her neck, and he would be like, and it became like the funny thing that you said, like, he's always with me. Not my jam. Like, that is not me. So I don't know what will happen. But it's interesting. You figure out once you're there, you don't know how you're going to handle it. And that's part of what we're going to talk about today. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So then I wanted to switch things up for a second, here, unless you have a continuation of that thought.
No, I just wanted to make sure people knew, like, some of the show, I mean, listen, I'm not here to bring anybody down. I just thought it was a good time to talk about, like, people are dealing with different things, and you don't know that there would be grief during this amazing time of year unless you've experienced it. So here, when you are experiencing it, it makes sense to have somebody. So we will have Nan Cohen, no stranger to KDK Radio, coming in to talk to us a little bit about what she went through, but go ahead.
So I want to go to the things that juxtapose.
Okay.
So in Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, when you have a funeral, the people come out of the woodwork with food.
Okay.
When you're Italian, they come out with 6 times the amount of food, right?
Right. You were in that basement. I did not make it to the basement.
So then, but the first thing is that the first night, cousin Lisa went out and said, "You're coming home. We got to make sure you say." And so then the opposite of being Italian and having 6 times as much food is having 2 kids.
Yeah.
That come home and raid your refrigerator.
Yes.
So you're like thankful, very thankful for all the food at that point, because there almost couldn't have been enough.
So thankful.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because, luckily people who are listening don't know where I live. I don't really lock my door. So we know that you and cousin Lisa come in with all this stuff because you knew my boys were home from college and I have a daughter. So I have 3 kids there all the time, not to mention like who's coming through. It was so wonderful that we saw you guys coming in on the ring and you were putting various things there for them to kind of go back and forth. But then, like you said, who's dropping off? I mean, our ring camera, it was like trips of people just coming up and putting things either on the porch or going into the house and putting them in our refrigerator. We don't know what we're going to do with all this food. We've frozen things.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I appreciate that you didn't bring up the fact that you saw me fall down your steps in the snow.
I mean, I didn't know if we were going there, if we were going to stay on the grieving, or should we go to the laughter? You're very concerned. You want to see this video.
I do want to see it because, you know me, I love Pratt Falls. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I love when people like fall off a ledge or, not when they get hurt, but I mean, it's...
Sure. But you are that slapsticky comedy.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
I get
exactly.
it.
And I want to see my own fall, to be honest.
It's really not as exciting as you think. Yeah. I mean, you caught yourself. So there's not like this dramatic. Had that happened, I think my kids would have turned it into a much more dramatic video that would have then been shared with the Chamberlain family as well.
I got you. Okay.
But that did not happen.
All
And
right.
even more hysterical is that as we were getting ready for, the first viewing, our driveway, I've talked about this before, is such a pain in the butt. And we had family in and we had cars parked everywhere. And my husband was trying to get up the side of one of our hills to get to a vehicle, and he fell in his dress clothes. And so we're all standing there like so depressed, so sad to go to the viewing and not know how we're going to react. And we literally just burst into laughter because he fell. So we have a couple videos. You falling,
There you go.
him falling. So you're not alone.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
All right, so we're through there. We are going to talk to Nan Cohen coming up.
Super excited. Yeah, I want to pick her brain,
one of
see
the
what
only-
offers, what she has to offer.
One of the only guests we've ever had that could actually use her own key card.
How about that? It's
about
John
that?
and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters would like to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters represents more than 42,000 members across 7 states, along with 11 training centers and 1,800 apprentice carpenters. As you reflect on the year, consider what the American worker has created in this country. Know that working hard allows a change to each family's future, and working together allows them to change the world. Together, they're building the future. Find out more at eascarpenters.org.
Get year-end rebates on quality Graber blinds from Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Save $75 on 3 solar, roller, cellular, or natural Graber shades. Plus, save an extra $25 on each additional shade. Lachina, Pittsburgh's custom window treatment leader, is pleased to offer these Graber shades rebates. Act quickly, as this offer is for a limited time. Call Lachina at 412-665-4900 for free shop-at-home service. Visit their 2 showrooms in Dormont and Wexford and at lachinadrapery.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
Think about the decades and generations where maybe there were a lot of innocent people and they did it out of the kindness of their own heart. But the number certainly was greater than 0 of creepy pervs who lined up to be mall Santas to get their jollies of kids sitting on their lap.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
CBS News Brief. Wicked weather and record-breaking holiday travel are giving some heading out to the roads and airports the blues, like this man.
We were supposed to be in Denver for 45 minutes, got redirected, sat in Colorado Springs on the tarmac for 3 hours while they refueled us, and then we took a bumpy ride over here to Denver, and now we have to find a flight tomorrow or maybe the next day.
The Trump administration says it struck targets in Syria after 3 Americans were killed there. CBS's Willie James Inman.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said Operation Hawkeye struck
strike was aimed at eliminating ISIS targets, writing, "Today we hunted and killed our enemies, lots of them, and we will continue."
Federal investigators are looking into that plane crash that killed 7 in North Carolina on Thursday.
We do not know the circumstances which led the aircraft, which was a Part 91 general aviation flight, to attempt to return to the airport, but that is the focus of our investigation.
CBS News Brief. I'm Allison Keyes.
Did you miss this week's Allegheny Health Network Medical Frontiers? Log on to the Allegheny Health Network website to listen to your favorite Medical Frontiers show. Visit ahn.org/Medical Frontiers podcast and look for your favorite Medical Frontiers show.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Folds of Honor has been meeting sacrifice with hope since 2019 in Western Pennsylvania. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are awarded to minorities, making the recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal as well as a 4 out of 4 stars ranking on Charity Navigator. You can become a Folds of Honor wingman today at westernpa.foldsofonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Join Rob Pratt every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Black and Gold Sunday, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer. Rob keeps you posted on Pittsburgh sports with 2 hours of exciting talk. That's Black and Gold Sunday, 11 to 1, presented each week by Coons Market.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be a mostly cloudy one, going up to 44. Clearing tonight, low 29. Behind a front, windy and colder tomorrow with sun, high 32. Clouds return Monday, 38. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Dager, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It's John and Rachel. Again, if you are expecting that voice of Michael Bartley, who's everybody's fave, including mine, I'm a huge Michael Bartley fan.
Well, guess who was expecting Michael Bartley?
Nan Cohen.
Nan Cohen, our next guest, who brought him treats.
It was us, yeah.
She brought him treats.
She knew
He's
it was
like,
us.
just put those in Michael Bartley's wine locker here at the
I didn't even know
Odyssey
he had
Studios.
that. See how behind we are?
That's how important he is.
Right.
Yes.
True story. But it is John and Rachel filling in for Michael Bartley, 2 to 5. And we have Nan Cohen. We've talked to you a bunch of times on the podcast, never on the radio. I shouldn't say that. We have been on the radio with you. You have not been on with us.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Didn't I start your career?
There you go.
How about that over there?
Nan
Did
Cohen.
I not start
Nan
your
Cohen
career?
started my career. You heard it first.
Seriously? At KQV? Am I right? Was that the first time you were on radio? With, doing this kind of stuff, yeah?
Dinner for 8.
Dinner for 8 stuff was, for sure. Yeah, I had been on a different station for a couple of times.
But not doing
those
this kind
memories of KQV are some of my favorites.
It was just so...
Yes.
Yeah, what a time.
So
What a time.
organic.
I was going to say organic, but it was fun. And we've been together a
long time. That just means you're showing our ages.
Well, I'm ageless.
Eternal. That's mine.
I'm just going to go with ageless.
Nan is ageless.
Who's got Botox?
Nan, it was so important to me to have you come on today because you have gone through so many different things, so many gyrations. Your career, as John mentioned, what we did together 10 years ago was Dinner for 8. So let's just reflect on that. Dinner for 8.
Dinner for 8, Dinner for 2.
Yeah. We went to 2.
We were doing dinner for 2. But, if you think about it, you hit something that was interesting as I was driving out here. In 10 years, I evolved as I've got that divorce reality expert piece. 10 years, so much has changed.
For sure.
And you reflect, and, of course, I was over at the funeral home, of course, for your mom. Wow, have things changed?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Really.
And that's what we were talking about too, like just kind of like keeping up with the evolution of things. Sometimes you don't really have an answer on why. It's just how it is. We were talking about reflection on going to the cemetery, and us not doing that. Or even culturally, religious wise, everybody has a different custom to follow. I remember, and this is what I want to talk about too, when our dear Mel passed and John and I came to pay our respects. It was the most reverent thing I have ever seen. I'm not just, I told you that. Yeah. It was an honor to be a part of that. And the fact that we could come experience something outside of our own faith and see how that works. It was, one, fascinating. And two, you feel like you are a part of the fabric of that person's life.
Yeah.
Right?
It's growing up, I didn't understand the concept of a visitation.
Sure.
Because the Jewish people, we bury so quickly.
Yeah.
And it's quick and it's over. But we have the visitation afterwards.
Right.
Where, it's just the different ceremonial pieces.
And so what I was referring to as the visitation, what is that?
Yeah. So the family gets greeted.
Gotcha.
And I remember specifically, I don't remember a lot about that day. It was very... I was just numb, but I do remember, of course, when you and John came in. And it was at the end.
It was late.
And I kind
of...
Well, it was... I said at the end.
And we actually were there sooner. We just could not make our way up.
Yeah.
But we were at the back,
Yeah,
remember?
I mean, the people, the outpour that day was crazy.
Right.
But I remember because I kind of fell into you.
Yeah,
I mean, I just grabbed, I was exhausted and drained mentally. And that piece of... You were saying the stories, the things that people come up to you and say. I couldn't process all of it.
And Nan, let's be honest. The reflection piece, and I'm new to it. 3 days, 2 days post, right? But there are certainly people that you go, especially because of, everyone kept saying, like, John and I are very fortunate to have a following. My father has such a following. You don't know who to expect. And people have great intentions. Some of the conversations, it was like, you have to move along now because there's so many people who are here to pay their respects. But for me, that balance of people who just wanted to tell the story, that made it all worthwhile.
Oh, when they give it to you, they hand you those things that you had no idea about.
No idea.
Or people that show up and say, I just had to be here because I just wanted you to know that I knew this about Mel. And it continues. It continues afterwards.
That's good to know.
People reached out all over social media. They reached out here through the station. They reached out. I'm going to be honest with you. This week for me, of course, it came up on 2 years for Mel, and in November. I can't believe how many people have just come up and said, I just want to give you a hug. Holidays are rough.
Yeah.
It's not easy. But this year it's been specifically, I just want to give you a hug, man. I don't want to say anything. I just want to give you a hug. And you just, you learn to accept that.
Yeah.
It's so needed.
Well, and because like John and I talked about this too, like I am a people pleaser. And so while so many people were messaging me and saying like, make this about you, don't worry about how someone else feels. That's not true. It's a two-way street because they're helping you to kind of cope. Right, John? Isn't that sort of what you got from me? Yeah. They're there telling you, like you just said, something that you may not have known.
Yeah. And the pictures they sent and the cards and memories they have, it's, they're all pieces to it. But it's not easy. And I think that there's different kinds of grief. I've been asked to speak about this, and I can get up and stand in front of a room and talk about divorce or some of the things that I do around here. But grief was never in my real realm. You can lose a parent. I'm not dismissing any of this. I'm making that clear. There's different kinds of grief. It's a spouse, it's a child, it's a parent, it's a sister, a sibling. You go through it all, but when you're not prepared for it, and I was a caregiver before he had passed, but I just never thought that the day would come where he'd be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what they say, right? You're never prepared.
It's just going to keep going. And it's difficult at times. But,
when you speak, what do you tap into? Is it the whole everybody grieves differently?
So
no blanket answer, right?
I haven't publicly done this yet, but it's coming because I've been asked and approached so many times. And we're kicking things off. I've got some things coming up happening in the beginning of the year, which I'm not allowed to talk about yet.
Okay.
But we're, of course, you guys know and are and will be involved. But I'm going to hit it strong. I'm going to talk about things that, I wasn't prepared for. I have people at my disposal, my phone. I've got the contacts. I've got the people. But this thing just came in like a tsunami and took me out. So unprepared. So prepared for everything and not yet unprepared for
So
this.
interesting because Mel had a long-term illness, somewhat long-term. And so being prepared, as you said, Nan, I think it's interesting that what's happening, then all of a sudden it does happen. You find yourself completely unprepared, although you've known what the trek has been. To me, that's really the interesting part of it all.
Yeah, I never thought that day would come.
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
Never. And I have to tell you something else interesting because I heard you talk about Rob Pratt.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the day of the funeral, I was up for 3 days prior to that, and I had written my own, words for Mel. And Rob came into the funeral home, and I was preparing myself because, even now today, like I did my friend's show this past week, the people closest to me know when I'm just performing, maybe is the right word. But Rob came into the funeral home. I couldn't perform. And he came in the back, and I said, I can't do this, Rob. I can't read this. Here's everything. Without missing a beat, he stood up, and he read everything that I had written. I'm going to start to cry. But he just handled it beautifully. He just came in, and he did. And I know what he did. I saw the video for your dad.
Right.
He did one for Mel, too. And, I've known Rob for, 35, 6 years. He just came in and did that, and it's a treasure to have something like that. And he stood up for me, and I stood by his side. And we watched the whole video, but you don't get that. And I do think that's a Pittsburgh thing.
Sure, I agree. Yeah,
he reaches out, and he's so connected to so many people. And he just put on his Rob hat. He said, "I'm doing this for you. You're my buddy. I'm taking care of you." And he did.
Yeah, it's so true.
Interesting.
Those are the things you can reflect on, I guess, when you are in your grieving parts, right? I mean, the portions where you're grieving, Nan. I mean, the one glimmer of hope you take out of there, I guess, that helps you.
It was.
The
takeaways.
Yeah.
And Mel would have been delighted.
Right.
That was it. Because they were buds.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
Nice.
Well, Nan Cohen is spending a little bit of time with us. We also know there's been some great things that are happening that you can talk about. So we want to jump into that. That's next. It's John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls. Whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Vitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Vitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
You've heard the stories. Now talk about them with Michael Bartley. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It's John and Rachel filling in for Michael Bartley. Love you, Michael Bartley. You should probably call in and talk to us because if you heard, we were talking a little bit about you and a little bit about Greenfield. And Nan Cohen has a little bit to say about you, and she may have brought a couple of treats that
we dug
you will
into.
not be getting.
Right. We were going to put them in your wine locker over there in your office.
And we decided you don't need them.
We said no. Yeah.
We decided
Michael
we
doesn't
need
want
them
the
more.
Calories, right.
We need
and
them.
we're talking about grieving and who doesn't need chocolate when you're grieving?
Right. That's what this is all about.
Right.
How about chocolate-covered potato chips? Do you love these?
Yeah, they're quite good.
Mhm.
And there's even like a thick coating of chocolate. It's not even a thin coating. It's like double, triple dipped. It's really good. Dorothy's, right?
You know, it's funny. He has enough of them. So now we're eating them. But I've had them here all season long, and they're just, you cannot. These have literally gone viral since we did the Rick Seaback show.
Right.
They came out
talk
2
about
weeks.
that.
Rick Seaback came here out to Dorothy's, and, you know, it's really funny because it was his new chocolate show. It was just premiered a week ago Thursday. And so he loved these potato chips. Michael Bartley loves the potato chips. This is all Nan gives me. Well, we're sharing today. Michael's had enough.
Much appreciated.
Michael, we appreciate you sharing on your, and you didn't even know. You're a
Yeah.
good guy for sharing, and
Right.
that you didn't even know.
Is this exclusive? Like, does Dorothy's have, and I know that we have a bunch of great chocolate places in Pittsburgh, of course, but you've had, you know, a relatability to Dorothy's for quite some time, as long as I've known you. Are they the ones who have sort of owned the potato chip? Like, is that their biggest thing?
No, it's really not. It's this next thing I brought you here was the sea salt caramels too. And
John, would you like
what? Wait. Sea salt caramels.
Oh, sorry. Should I open those
Smokes.
too, John?
Smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, there. No, it's just funny. So I've always had, since I got into this kind of business, you know, I've always loved the small businesses. And in Pittsburgh, we truly have such amazing people running these, you know, little businesses. And I have to say, when Rick and I are friends, Rick Seaback and I, when he called me and he said, Nan, I'm coming over to Dorothy's. I want to do something special there. I don't want to talk about dipping candy anymore. He said, I've got that covered in all the other places that I went. He wanted Marlene and I to do our influencer stuff, as he calls it. And so the potato chips this year just took off. They take off every year. I mean, when Christmas ends, there's not a potato chip to be found. They are rapidly producing these constantly. It can't keep up with it right now.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody seemed, because it's the way they do it. This is a 78-year-old business.
Wow.
And it's all hand dipped.
Yeah.
No pieces look the same, but he has the right potato chip with the right amount of chocolate, and it works.
Well, we concur.
There you go. I'm glad.
The judges of two right here concur. Yeah, 10.0.
There you go.
I would appreciate it. So let's go back. Well, let's go back to the Rick Seaback thing. That's not obviously your status. We talk about how it's cool to be here in KDKA, and people like you have sat in these seats before us, and we're just these young whippersnappers, right?
Young
coming in here, right?
I love it.
I'm really. But the fact is that you've known Rick for years. But how fun is it to actually do a segment with Rick Seaback?
The amazing thing is, and I said this, Rachel, I'll bring this back to you for a second. When I met Mel, I remember him. He said he had the VHS tapes of Kennywood and the hot dog shows. I mean, he's so famous for all these shows, on WQED. And Mel and I used to watch this all the time. And when I was fortunate enough through this business to meet Rick, and over the years the friendship evolved, and Mel was friendly with him. Mel just adored him. If you ever get the opportunity to see Rick out in public, or at an event, when he talks, don't we all listen? There's not that you can hear a pin drop. He tells a story. It's just it's amazing how he does this. And in this this last show he did, he remembered that he had a picture of Mel bringing him Dorothy's candies.
I love that,
and he put it into the show and I said, Mel would be so grateful. What a memory to have.
What a memory.
Yeah.
To have Mel in this film that's done. And, the girls, I told them, and, that legacy will live through that film. And
Rick is the consummate storyteller, right? Like, we know that so many people today, there's always that tug of war, that conversation about what's the difference between a journalist and a storyteller, and everybody's becoming a storyteller. But ultimately, he's the OG. He tells the stories that make the young girls sing.
Just kidding. This is a Yinzer question. We might not even be there to that point yet, but who would you rather hear a story from, Andy Masick or Rick Seaback? That's a good battle right there.
And I'm friendly with Andy. And I've got to tell you, when you get that opportunity to sit with these people, I'm just a sponge. I've always said that to you, Rach, throughout the years. I just want to be the sponge and soak it all up. And that is what you do when you're with those two. Nothing is, everything that comes out of their mouth, you just absorb.
For sure.
The history that Andy knows and the stories. It's just amazing.
Nan, we would be remiss if we didn't at least ask you one of our Yinzer questions.
Yeah.
So tell us, where does everybody find out more information about Dorothy's, and where can they get their last minute candy fix for the holiday?
So Dorothy's Candies is in White Oak. You can online. The store's still open. They're online, and get down to the store. They'll be open till Christmas Eve. I think
that's great.
4:00.
Okay,
that's my kind of hours.
Yeah,
John will be there at 3:27.
Yeah,
John. What else did you ask me about?
Well, the Yinzer question. So, what would make us revoke your Yinzer card? Is there something that we need to know about? Like, I love when people want to out me as they're explaining. They're like, "Well, Rachel, yours is pretty bad, not loving Primanti's, but what's yours?"
Do you want the whole list?
I don't know. It depends.
I shall meet up with you once a week and give you something.
There you go.
Right.
Okay.
Give us your top one.
My top one is I don't want to see Disney movies.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I don't want in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Don't take me to theaters to see
Okay.
Disney movies.
Oh, okay.
In Pittsburgh.
Okay. That's a fair one.
I could see it elsewhere, but I'm not going to see it.
Now here, is there a place in Pittsburgh that you've not been? So procrastination destination. You've lived here your whole life. You're like, I'm going to get there, but you've never been. Any place you can think of that you've not been? Number one answer is Randyland. Isn't that crazy? Have you been there?
I have been to Randyland. And I don't know where I haven't been.
Okay. That's a fair one.
I think I hate to sound like, but this business has taken me to places that I've really, I don't know.
Okay.
You could
Fair
have
enough.
asked me a restaurant.
Fair
and
enough.
I would have given that to you.
Nan, where can everybody follow you online?
Well, you always can find me at Nan Cohen on all the social platforms. And hey, you can always reach out and email right through my website, which is nan@divorcerealityexpert.
There you go. You're an expert at so many things. Thank you for helping with the holidays. As we said, people don't know grief until they've experienced it, especially during the holidays when you're kind of going through and you're seeing the beauty of the white blanket of snow and you're listening to the holiday sounds and you're meeting up with people and you're doing the things. You don't think about it, but don't forget to reach out to those friends because some people are grieving. It is John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
With Rich Fitzgerald, Executive Director, Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission. The things you've told us is there's a need for these data centers. But with that comes the power necessary to do it.
A data center is really where the computations are occurring to provide all of the energy that is needed to run the things we see use every day, our phone.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow. Billshappen.com is safe, secure, and all online. Just remember, when you need cash, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway.
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GRAVY25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Allison Keys. It's the Wild West for the millions traveling for what AAA calls a record holiday season. Between the crowds, delays, and bad weather in parts of the nation, it's been tough. CBS's Meg Oliver with more.
According to AAA, nearly 123 million Americans will be traveling 50 miles or more between today and New Year's Day. Most, 110 million, will be traveling by car, while more than 8 million, also a record, are expected to fly.
That weather is causing misery around the nation, and Southern California is in the crosshairs. CBS News meteorologist John Elliott.
70-mile-an-hour winds reported along the East Coast, Western Lakes, 100-plus-mile-an-hour gusts out west. I mean, I know it's been challenging, and we're setting up for more wind, rain, and snow for the West.
Another batch of records involving the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was released this morning. But CBS's Scott McFarland reports some survivors have a problem with what's come out so far.
Many of the records are heavily redacted. Survivors say suspiciously so, including Epstein grand jury records. We do see Epstein's book of contacts with the name of President Trump, his late wife, and his daughter, Ivanka. A list of girls or young women listed as masseuses keeps the names private, but shows there were more than 250.
President Trump is speaking out about U.S. military strikes on dozens of ISIS targets in Syria, and the defense secretary says they will continue.
I ordered a massive strike on the terrorists that killed our 3 great patriots last week.
There's a federal investigation into that business jet crash in North Carolina last week that killed 7 people, including retired NASCAR driver Greg Biffle. The plane burst into flames after hitting light poles and trees. Michael Graham is with the National Transportation Safety Board.
Early indications from multiple sources indicate that the airplane was stable on approach, configured for landing with the landing lights on, but the aircraft was coming in low.
Did you buy that Powerball ticket yet? Yeah, the odds of winning are crazy, but as CBS's Adriana Diaz reports, one can dream.
Tonight's jackpot is an estimated $1.5 billion. You heard that right, with a B, making it the 5th largest in the game's history. In case you're doing some financial planning, after taxes, you'll be taking home $686.5 million.
If you ask AI how long it would take to spend even a portion of that, it says if you spend $1,000 every day and take no days off, it would take some 3,400 years to spend all.
Get connected. That's the Inside Connection this Saturday morning at 9 with your local Medicare experts from MediConnect. If you're turning 65, hear all the inside information available to seniors on the Inside Connection, presented by MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Give the taste of Pittsburgh this holiday with A La Familia's 5 and 3-piece gift boxes featuring signature sauces like marinara, vodka, Diavolo, and bolognese, plus chili oil or red wine vinaigrette. All under $60 with free shipping nationwide. Order at alafamiliafinefoods.com. The holiday season again features the City of Pittsburgh's Gingerbread House Competition, presented by Clearview. View hundreds of edible creations online and cast your vote for People's Choice Award through December 31st. Details at getinvolved.pittsburghpa.gov. Looking for holiday plans? Let Rivers Casino do the cooking for you. Visit riverscasino.com to view holiday offerings from Martirano's Prime and Wheelhouse. Enjoy a variety of seasonal dishes in addition to regular menus. Bring your friends, bring your luck, and bring your appetite.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
Beckett's amazing. He's a miracle child. In the mornings, he'll wake up and he'll roll the shades up and, Dada, it's time to get up. It's a bright, beautiful day.
He started getting dizzy. At the first of the year, he started going, I have to sit down, I'm dizzy, Mommy. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. All you can think of is, the kid's not gonna live. The fact that St. Jude doesn't bill is a godsend. And the fact that we don't have to ask for help here makes things a lot easier to go through what we have to go through with Beckett. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be a mostly cloudy one, going up to 44, clearing low 29 tonight. Windy and colder tomorrow with sun at 32. Clouds increase Monday, 38. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Dager, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It's Michael Bartley on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It is John and Rachel. It is not, please don't be disappointed. It is not Michael Bartley. It is not. Michael, I feel like you need to just call in. People need you.
Right. You know the number. You
We've
give it
not
out
gotten hatred mail or calls, so
Just
that's
those
good.
guys will have to get here, right?
John,
Right.
do you want to introduce our next guest? Because you did so well at pronouncing her last name the first time we met her, as well as what we were talking about. Do you remember?
Oh, my gosh.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I think.
Dr. Stephanie Rausch.
Because when you say what we were talking about, like every
Chakra.
conversation is 9 different topics. So I didn't know which
Do you
one
remember we were talking about chakra?
Yeah,
and we
chakra.
said it. Did we say it right, Dr. Steph?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at us. You've taught us so much over the last year.
You're like, if that's the only thing you learned, I've failed.
Yeah,
Right?
really. No. I'm moving into frame here. So we adored meeting you from day one. We knew you from Byron Nash, obviously mutual friend. You know him a little better. But he is a dear, dear friend of John, my family, and mine. And you've been dating. And so we've had you on the radio to even talk about an amazing competition that you guys were involved in, which we loved, that was giving back. But we especially met you because you have this, I don't know what word I want to use, this great connection to healing. Mm-hmm. And it just shows. You're one of those people that, like, we've interviewed so many people on podcasts that are similar in subject matter. And you get that's cool. And you kind of move on. I did not get that vibe with you from the first time I met you. And you actually convinced myself and my cousin Lisa that there should be some kind of like continuation of learning some of these techniques like the chakra and various ways of meditating. And you just are so connected to people in that manner that it's no question to me that you started this new series, Shane to Shine. How about that? Get your M's and your N's right, Rachel. Shame to Shine, and why that makes sense. So talk to everybody a little bit about why healing is so important to you and sort of give an overall explanation of what you do.
Yes, thank you so much for that intro.
Long intro.
Yes,
I was long-winded, guys.
It's beautiful. It's always very humbling to hear that. As I was driving over, I was looking at the trees, and so it is winter, and there's not as much leaves on branches, but just feeling this sense of trees do have that as above, so below sort of look, that you can see branches and then know if we were to dig up the tree underground, their roots are going to look relatively similar.
Sure.
And so that leads your question leads perfectly into that kind of reflection as I was coming over, that so much of the inner work that healers offer that are different paths to the same thing are about strengthening that root system so that what is seen and visible by others is, the tree that's above ground, but because the roots are so strong below ground, you can offer shade to people, have beautiful leaves, delicious fruits, all sorts of things.
Sure.
But it is that inner work that is required to have the nutrients to have that expression.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great explanation.
Following along with the explanation you gave, such as, let's just we're using it today, the situation that Rachel's going through with losing her mom, right? So if the roots are strong and one branch breaks off or dies off, I don't mean them dying in the part like
you don't have to
it
keep
becomes
saying dying.
No,
John.
I mean it disrupts, it somehow it falls off,
Sure.
those kind of things. The roots are strong enough that everything's still going to come back strong, right? And so is that sort of the same kind of characterization we would talk about with Rachel, in that the roots were strong with her mom, the roots were strong with her family, her support system. So therefore, yes, this is a temporary thing that we hopefully will help get through with all of this, the root system that she has. Am I playing that right? I mean, does that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful link, because the root system does allow for that support when nature, we're in winter anyway, so we see this natural letting go of leaves and branches and all sorts of things.
Darkness.
darkness.
Yeah.
That we're coming up on the shortest day of the year tomorrow.
Right.
And the life cycle is something culturally that's very hard for us to conceptualize and understand and to process and grieve through. But there is no life without death. And it's just part of the circle of life, shall we say.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting because off air we were talking about like the manner in which people do grieve or how the journey they take. And is it, John was equating it to, you said in the West Coast, they don't
really
observe the way we do.
They don't do visitations, things like that.
Yeah. And so I was saying, is it that? Is it actually coastal? Is it proximity? Or is it cultural? Is it ethnic? Is it religious? Because as we had Nan Cohen on, who's of Jewish faith, we witnessed a completely different manner in which they celebrate life than we do as Catholics. And it's interesting because even in the Catholicism or the Christianity, everybody does things differently, and so you're celebrating in a way, but you're so right. Winter, there's something about winter. You're never ready. And there's no time that's going to be a good time for somebody to experience it. But it is that time of year where you're like, it's colder, it's darker, it's reflective because you are feeling all the feels and you can't help yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a comedian that I heard who was talking about his mom. I forget who it was. And he said his mom passed away in her 90s and had lived a long... So if we say 90s, it's like, okay, you made it. That's really good. And he was like, it still wasn't long enough.
Right.
And
That's right.
so it's so hard and it's so painful.
Yeah.
And the grief process in winter is it's like teaching us how to go through that letting go. And I do think it's cultural that at least in Western culture, apart from religion, we have a really hard time with letting go. We just like to grow, expand. And in nature, that actually is not good at all. Like it's
a great point.
We need to release things in order to make room for more to come in. And so there is, but it doesn't mean that it's easy or flowers or like, yay, like this is part of life. There is a discomfort and a pain that is necessary to experience and with other people in order to celebrate and release that loved one that has passed.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. So we want to talk a little bit more about that, but I think I'm listening to the two of you talk, and I think darkness and it's almost like, is it worse during this time of year? Because it is darker, and also there are less things to go outside and do at this point to distract, keep your mind busy. So do you have to sort of double down on your efforts to think inwardly at this point, or rely on others, I guess, more? Is that what you see? Or or is it really more of a personal thing?
Yeah, well, there's no best way. Right. It's not a performance to grieve. So it's a really good question, but it is personal, and it's okay to do it wrong or do it messy and figure it out along the way, and have some days that are like, oh, maybe I did too much, and then some days that are like,
sure,
I don't know, I wasn't ready to think about that or to feel that emotion, and so I distracted myself. And it's just it's an ebb and flow internally, and I think having compassion for ourselves that we're not really taught culturally how to grieve well.
Great point.
Is also helpful so that we can just be easier on ourselves. That Rachel, you can be easy on yourself with going through this. This is losing a parent. There's nothing like losing a parent.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, it's a new experience. I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and it just wrecked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we have to take a break. But I definitely want to talk more about how that's so true. The evolution of change and our generations has helped us to see that there is no right answer. So we're going to talk a little more to Dr. Steph about that, about the grieving process, but also this amazing new series that she has. It is John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
your source for official traffic information. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. Over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersofpittsburgh.com today.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on the team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-200-1966 or biglou.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
This is attorney Christine Brown Murphy with the law firm of Zachariah Brown. If you have a loved one in a nursing home, we need to talk. Give our office a call at 724-942-6200 or visit our website at pittsburghelderlaw.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is John and Rachel, not Michael Bartley. Michael Bartley is not here today, but we are, and we are happy to be here. And we're going to be subbing in for the next couple, not tomorrow, but the next couple of days throughout the holiday season. And we're excited about that because we have some great Pittsburgh people to talk to. Like today, I call her Dr. Steph. I mean, she's become a very dear friend of mine. And we were talking about this grieving process. And I want to full disclosure, none of the guests that we're having on are expected to be answers, right? Like, I don't want people to think like, oh, you had Nan Cohen on because she's an expert on, you know, like we were saying, divorce, and then she lost her husband. And so she speaks about that. Or you being a healer by trade, so to speak, you know, you affiliate with healing. It's more so because I think I want to soak everything in that I can, because I'm figuring out my path. And something that you said that I thought was wonderful when we were on break was you were saying to John, this is hard on you as well. And I think he took it for the literal version of like, yes, my mother meant something to him. But you were saying he also has that burden of carrying on everyday life. right? Like he has to continue our mission that we feel we serve the community, whether it's to uplift small businesses or through our this talk show or our podcast to get stories out about people and why they're important in this city. And you're right, that has been a hard thing for me too, because he's like, just sit back, let me do this. And he means well. But as I told you coming up here, there's certain parts. It's not because I think he can't do it. It's because I need that balance, to kind of find my way. So it's very appreciative to hear from people like you who explain the process and how it's literally okay, to kind of like or the fact that it's healthy. Like life goes on because people don't stay here forever.
Yeah. And both of you experiencing a big change then is going to influence your typical dynamic. And so
Sure.
there's a shakeup.
Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
Learning how to still work together really collaboratively and support each other in ways that are well-meaning on both of your ends. And there's no real right answer. It's not
Sure.
going to be perfection, but just even being easy with yourself on giving and receiving in ways that are aligned with where you are, even if it doesn't come, even if the response isn't like, oh, that was perfect, thank you.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That makes me
I
feel
agree with
better.
you. And, I know, Rachel is a hard worker. She's one of the smartest people I've ever met and all that kind of stuff. But she is one of those people that says, I'm dropping the ball right now. And she finds it hard to hear it when I say, it's okay. No, you're not dropping the ball. But even if you are dropping a ball, it's okay.
Yeah.
And she finds that very hard to take.
It's actually a good
that part of
segue
it.
because if you watched the Shame to Shine series that Dr. Steph is behind, I don't remember the day I was or when you had released it, but it was essentially accepting imperfection. And I tried to be as authentic as I could on that conversation to talk about how I find it generational that my generation was taught from the boomer generation to essentially keep that torch going. You're fine. You're fine. Everything's good. And not only that, but I'm going to do this the best I can. And it's interesting to me because we have a mutual friend, Marilee Smith, who has given, I've now seen 4 different talks that she's given on that specific subject. And it's interesting to me because I don't know that was initially what I wanted to talk about, but it's accepting yourself for not being perfect, but none of us are already there. Like I'm still working through that clearly, as John's telling you. Like I still want to make sure everything is perfect, and guess what? Life isn't. So, talk to us a little bit about. I'm just one of many amazing people in this series. What is Shame to Shine, and how can people learn more about it?
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. Shame to Shine is a mini podcast series where it's meant to be like a Netflix style binge of really nice 20 to 30 minute conversations with women who have experienced something that they are ashamed of and have learned how to accept themselves and how that has often resulted in creating community around them. So for you, working through your own imperfections and being authentic on air has generated just an amazing response, both of you together, where people want to see that authenticity. And now that AI is booming, having real conversations where we talk about the mess and people know you and trust you and you're experiencing things that are very relatable. Parents passing away is something we all go through.
Right.
So this can be just massively, these stories, human stories are massively helpful to people. So that was the impetus behind Shame to Shine. And I'm so pleased that you shared. Another example is Lana, who dealt with infertility. And she got the diagnosis after like 7 years of IVF of undiagnosed infertility, and then was depressed for 10 years, and then realized I want to still live my life, and maybe I can still be a whole, full woman. And even though I don't have children, which is something I always expected I would have. So that was a really interesting story as well. And now she's created cute books and a podcast and a whole community and something called the Others Day that is offset on Mother's Day, but to celebrate women who don't have children. And so it's turned from this internalized shame and then just like flip the switch into this is something that I've healed from internally and I can build it out, spread it out, and create community with it. So there are a bunch of stories like that.
So it's the old adage of taking something bad and flipping it into something positive,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But it's a more of an active notion,
Yes.
and active notion with the help of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, all these women have done it on their own,
Okay.
and then I just bring their story to life,
Sure.
and then share it. And if you go to paradigmexpansions.com, you'd be able to see it and click on everyone's
one.
individual interview. And there's all different things. You know, there's divorce, there's sexual abuse, there's job loss, there's being misunderstood by your community, things that are very relatable, but through everyone talks about self-acceptance, then being the first one to say, okay, I still am going to say yes to myself. I'm still going to love myself, even though I'm imperfect in this way. And then how that leads to a sense of expansion and wanting to share with other people.
yeah,
It's really
But
cool.
It is cool that you acknowledge that they have done this sort of within themselves. But then to get that acknowledgement from you, that seems to make it exponentially better. Like,
Well,
right? I mean,
I know what you're
don't
saying,
you
but
think? Because
I
it
don't
elevates
know.
their positivity.
It
No?
does, but she's very good at she does not interject much.
No, I mean just the fact that you're having them tell their
Sure.
story within
Yes.
within the realm of what you're doing. So I think once they have that success, they feel that, okay, I've turned this around. Now somebody else is acknowledging that, and somebody else can
That's a
learn
good
from
point.
that, which kind of does it 2 or 3, 4-fold, I'd have to think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the goal too was, like, I'm still a researcher at heart, and I love qualitative research. And so being able to group together different stories, different roots of shame, but see how this through line of self-acceptance
Mhm.
does lead to community building
Mhm.
through these different stories, to encourage listeners to explore that shame that we're still feeling, that, like, it's okay, that you can accept yourself. You don't have to keep punishing yourself.
Right.
And there is actually something really beautiful on the other side.
Well, and that the acceptance is continual, because it's not all the time. Like as I had a good day, as I'm repeating it to you, as 4 days later, something happens and I'm like, here I am right back in that slump, feeling like, should I be? Mine, John, was a lot about like being authentic and saying, like, I don't wear makeup. I don't do these kinds of things. Like, I had body image issues, but I needed to figure out, like, that my blemishes made me who I am.
Mhm.
And so own it. And I was going to say too, I'm so fortunate because mine is something that I think every woman has felt in some point. But when you get into serious subjects like, a divorced person, infertility, sexual abuse, those are things that I'm so lucky and blessed I didn't have to deal with. So it puts things into perspective for these women. Yeah. So thank you to you, because it is authentic. Tell us, where can we find this series so that people can learn more about it?
Yes, if you go to paradigmexpansions.com, you'll be able to see it. And we'll keep posting it on socials to make it easy, but the paradigmexpansions.com will be the best way.
We love it. Thank you so much for joining us. And I have to just point out real quick, and I know I'm over, you have a daisy necklace on, and that is my mother's favorite flower. There is some reason that you were sent here today. Thank you. It's John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters would like to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters represents more than 42,000 members across 7 states, along with 11 training centers and 1,800 apprentice carpenters. As you reflect on the year, consider what the American worker has created in this country. Know that working hard allows a change to each family's future, and working together allows them to change the world. Together, they're building the future. Find out more at eascarpenters.org.
Mommy, how come I can't sit in the front seat?
Because I love you and you're just not ready yet.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nitsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Ooh, gas station sushi. That's preventable. And even colon cancer can be preventable if you get screened. If you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page, or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
CBS News Brief. There are delays and cancellations at airports around the nation on this busy holiday travel weekend, and forecasters say more bad weather is on the way, but this optimist has a suggestion.
Try not to be annoyed by all the airport drama if there is any. Just like, you're going on vacation, have fun.
The U.S. military struck dozens of ISIS targets in Syria after 3 Americans were killed in an ambush. CBS's Willie James Inman.
In a post on Truth Social, the president warned against attacks on the U.S., writing, "You will be hit harder than you have ever been hit before if you in any way attack or threaten the USA."
A paraplegic German engineer was aboard when Blue Origin's rocket blasted into space today. Mihi Bentos is now the first person who uses a wheelchair to make it to space.
Didn't only laugh like the view and the microgravity phase, but I also laughed all the going up. That was so cool, like to feel every stage of going up.
CBS News Brief. I'm Allison Keyes.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Celebrate 100 years of high-flying dunks, 100 years of show-stopping moves, and 100 years of changing the game. Bring the whole family and be part of the legacy. This game is once in a century. Be there at PPG Paints Arena on December 26th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years. So give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Tune in to 1020 KDKA Radio for Medical Frontiers with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer from the Allegheny Health Network every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Dr. Pfeiffer and his special guests will cover the information that you want to know about your health and the latest trends in medicine.
Beckett's amazing. He's a miracle child. In the mornings, he'll wake up and he'll roll the shades up and, Dada, it's time to get up. It's a bright, beautiful day.
He started getting dizzy. At the first of the year, he started going, I have to sit down, I'm dizzy, Mommy. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. All you can think of is, the kid's not gonna live. The fact that St. Jude doesn't bill is a godsend. And the fact that we don't have to ask for help here makes things a lot easier to go through what we have to go through with Beckett. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be a mostly cloudy one, going up to 44. Clearing tonight, low 29. Behind a front, windy and colder tomorrow with sun, high 32. Clouds return Monday, 38. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Dagger, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It's John and Rachel. John. I've done, I planned this whole show to be about like me. Obviously, I've ripped the Band-Aid off. I said that my mother passed, and this week has been a little bit rough on me, and I've really built this show around like support for me. So thank you, John, for understanding that.
Oh, no worries.
And we got through Nan Cohen, who talked to me about, having lost her husband and doing her divorce thing and how she knows how to deal with like giving good advice on how to cope. And then we had Dr. Steph, who talks about like her Shame to Shine series and how like women all have these journeys that we have to be on, and she helps with healing. And then I was like, we got to throw cookies in there.
Go cookies. Cookies with our faces on them.
Needed some kind of like, come on, give me something good here. So Becca from Becca Bakes.
Sing it.
Tell me something good.
I thought you were going to miss your cue.
So Becca from Becca Bakes was one of those guests that we had on the podcast. We talk about this a lot, who just really, really resonated with us. And it's one of those crazy stories that I'll reiterate that we talked about on the podcast, where we were at Babesburg and I was told by like 16 different people to go to you, thought that it was you I was having a conversation with on Instagram. John, it was like when you go, this is why I don't say, hey, don't I know you?
Yes.
I walk up to her, I'm like, I'm the one you've been talking to on Instagram. She's like, I've never talked to you. You could have, but you didn't. But that's okay, because here we are. And we just think that your entrepreneurial spirit is, bar none, some of the best we've ever seen. And this Becca Bakes thing, it's just amazing. So I will stop talking. It might be another long intro, but talk to us for people who don't know. What is Becca Bakes?
Becca Bakes is a company that I started really out of desperation.
Sure. That's where they all start, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
And so I graduated with a degree in public accounting.
Sure.
I was recruited into Pittsburgh. So, I've been in Pittsburgh for about 5 or 6 years now. So I am a transplant.
Right. But I forget, where were you from?
I'm from like Scranton.
Okay.
Like Scranton, Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
yeah, we're in Pennsylvania.
Thank God.
Thank
Yes,
God.
yes.
I'm not that scary. And so yeah, and it was COVID, and it was just sad times.
Yes.
It was just
needed something to do.
I needed something creative to do. So I said, I could make cookies. And then I made my first cookie, and it was awful.
Okay.
It was so
cookie in general.
With a
just
cookie
in general.
Yeah. What kind of cookie was it?
It was a decorated sugar
Just
cookie,
okay,
a
gotcha.
basic shape.
Okay.
And John, it was I threw it out. It was real bad.
Okay.
Tasted great, but bad.
Okay.
And then I just started working on it, self-taught, completely self-taught.
But
YouTube
why
videos.
a cookie? It was just, you thought,
Well,
why
my
not?
parents used to they did like wedding cakes, like for friends and family, not
Okay.
a business. They were not business people.
Okay, sure.
So I had a business degree, and I said, how can I use this accounting degree in my business? And so that's kind of where it started. And I just practiced. I just practiced, friends, family. And then I started getting orders from like people I did not know. And I was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
And they trusted me. And that's how it kind of, and small business owners trusted me. And I got my first client that was a coffee shop in my hometown. And we're still friends to this day. And,
So when you say, let's back up, because we're going to get to where you are.
Yeah.
And I even, as of late, I've seen some of your Instagram posts. It's going crazy. And I love that. But when you say sugar cookie, so essentially it was a cookie, you decorated it a certain way. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people liked your decorating skills. So you were the cookie. I got a guy. I got a gal.
I got a gal.
Yes. And so it was like, I have this person who does well at cookies, and I have this event. Let's have Becca do it.
Yes.
How did it get to where it is now, where you literally show up and you have John and Rachel's faces on cookies, just like, here, if you want this, I can do this for you on site?
I have to say it's me. I put my personality into everything that I do.
Sure.
It's just who I am. And I really just pushed myself and put myself out there. I'm also like an actor. I love doing improv. So I'm kind of a showgirl in that way where, I want to get... Here I am at a radio station. What's a cookie girl doing at a radio station? Do you know another cookie girl at a radio station?
No.
I don't think so.
We got a girl.
You said yes and.
Yes, and.
Yes.
Yes. You know, John. You know it.
Please, with the John. So
Yes.
you realized this was your niche, and it was
Yes.
like, how do I take it to the next level?
Right.
Okay.
How do I get invited to the party, which is how the Sweet Snap was created.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
Okay.
explain that.
The Sweet Snap is PA's first edible cookie photo booth service.
Brilliant.
So, yes, we show up.
But
It's
wait,
like a
did you
photo
see
booth.
it somewhere else? Did some other city have it?
I knew there's a machine.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And I knew the machine, and it's
Okay.
quite expensive. And I
bet.
said, how do I
Yeah.
pay for this? And I also wanted to go. I wanted to come to the party.
Yeah.
I wanted to come to the wedding.
Yeah.
Don't just come pick up your cookies. I want to
You
be
are
there,
Nebby.
Diva. I want to
Yes.
be. I want to be on the dance floor with you. So you'll see me. I'm crying at the wedding, and then I'm twerking, and then I'm eating your cookie, and we're all having a good time.
And both sides of the wedding are going, hey, is that your cousin? No, is that your cousin?
It's the cookie girl.
It's the cookie girl. It's the cookie girl. I don't know. She's here. Who
It's
knows?
like a good form of wedding crashers.
Yes.
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 I like
and then
it.
and the
Yes.
Steelers brought us out.
Yeah.
And Chick-fil-A and Dick's Sporting Goods and AAA, and we're just so
Look at
lucky to
you.
have these clients.
Thank God you have an
Yeah.
accounting degree. Now you can ching ching. Yes.
I know. Yes.
It's
Yes.
brilliant. And so for people who don't understand, let me back because I feel like we went from here to here.
I know.
So essentially, you were practice makes perfect. You perfected the cookie itself, the taste, the look, all that kind of stuff. You learned of this machine that on site, so that people understand, you can take a selfie, get that photo to your machine, and you are then going to essentially laser that photo onto the cookie that tastes good, and it's a momentum.
In 25 seconds or less.
How about that?
Wow.
Yes, and honestly, the cookie, like how you said, I perfected the cookie. The taste is just as important to me as the looks.
Absolutely.
So we use
Yeah.
real vanilla
Oh, yeah.
beans. It's $100 a bottle, but you know I'm buying it, John.
Yes.
You know I'm charging it.
Yeah.
But I visualize a person eating it when I'm making the cookie. You know what I mean? I like that.
Yeah,
Great point.
that is my question is, do people want to save the cookie with their face on it?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. Because why look silly if I really want to dive into this cookie with my face on it? Because I might just be like sweets.
I've had
You know?
someone epoxy them, John, and keep them
Oh my
forever.
gosh, really?
Yeah, like that clear resin.
Yeah.
And it hardens and they keep it forever. Yes, because she brought it to a Harry Styles concert and he sang "Happy Birthday" to her in front of all of MSG.
Oh.
Did I tell you that?
No, that's a great story.
Harry Ween, when he had those Harry Ween concerts
Sure.
at MSG.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
her birthday is Halloween. Shout out Katie. And she brought it. She brought my cookie and she held it up. And he sang "Happy Birthday" to her in front of everyone. At
That's
MSG.
huge.
So
Who wouldn't
weddings,
do that?
What other? I guess is
Well, remember,
weddings
I
maybe
was
the
gonna have
number
her
one
for the graduation party,
or
but
what
it was
else
too
would
late.
be a second?
Honestly,
yeah.
the corporate holiday parties
Oh,
are
yeah.
very big. We just did one at Longview Club
Okay.
in Verona.
Yeah.
Then we did Best Buddies.
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
know
we
Best
did know,
Buddies?
yeah.
We did
Mhm.
Taste Buds
Yeah.
with Best Buddies.
Yeah.
Dick's Sporting Goods,
Okay.
Pittsburgh Courtyard by Marriott has us for they call it client activations. They'll just have us like in the lobby and their guests come
Sure.
in and they pay for them ahead of time. But we also offer it in a variety of different ways. Like something like Pittsburgh Courtyard Marriott, they wanted that experience for their guests where it was free. But we also show up to like Taste Buds, like a
I got you,
fundraiser,
yeah.
and they
Sure. And that's what we had talked about with one of our clients is how does this work? And you've mastered that piece as well, because you know that it's like you said, some people may pay for them. Some people may say, let me absorb it, but you have that all figured out.
We have it all. We've done this for 2 years now. I know we trademarked last spring, but we've been doing it for 2 years. So our experience is just unlike anyone else. Like we come with our own power source. We come with everything.
Is the machine really big thing or is it?
No, it's like a regular printer
Yeah?
size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and we have like a case for it. We have our own. We made
That's cool.
a custom made cookie cart. And we decorate it to your theme. So our experience in that in the edible cookie photo booth world is really unmatched.
And Addie and I, my daughter and I, obviously, when we were at Babesburg, because we wanted to just try it. I mean, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
The taste is just the quality. Because like you said, quality is just as important.
It matters to me a lot. And that's what my customers come back. They're like, oh, well, there's a cookie girl on every street.
Yeah.
There's so many, but they're like, we come back to you because your cookies actually taste good as well.
That's what I say about that one restaurant around town that has the cookies. And like, yeah, they're not that great.
Oh, I hear you.
You know what
I
I'm
know
saying?
it is.
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking.
do.
I'm picking
Right?
up what you're putting
Okay,
down.
there you
All
go.
right, we have
Yes,
so many
and.
other questions, and we need to chat holiday stuff. And I don't know if it's too late, if like we can throw orders your way, Becca. But we're gonna ask. It's
We'll
John
work
and
it
Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDK.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
Did you know you can spend your PA taxes to fund a scholarship for a child in need and get a 90% tax credit refund? Through Blocks, that's BLOCS, you can direct your state tax liability, fund a scholarship, direct it to the tuition-based school of your choice, and receive a 90% refund on the donated amount. It's a simple process, and you can fund a scholarship that will change a child's life. Tax credit slots are filling up fast, and you must make your commitment by December 23rd. Head to BLOCS.org now.
Hi, this is Jack Bogut. Remember Papa J's, that great Italian restaurant in Carnegie that burned down a few years ago? That left a big hole in the lives of a lot of us because Papa J's was a legendary gathering place for family and friends. And then it was gone. Well, the great news is that Papa J's is back, now located in the Strip District on Smallman Street in front of St. Stan's Catholic Church. Papa J's. Wonderful food still made from scratch, like fried zucchini with marinara, greens and beans, street pizza, handmade pasta with sauces that make you smile, chicken parm, veal scallopini, fresh fish, and now the Troiani family's homemade gelato. Yes, Papa J's is back on Smallman Street in the Strip in front of St. Stan's Catholic Church. Open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. Papa J's is back.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's chicken pot pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Unapologetic in his talk. It's Michael Bartley on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Let's go crazy. We're talking about Becca Bakes cookies with your pictures on them, cookies with our faces on them. So Becca Bakes, welcome to KDK. Welcome back to KDK.
Yes, thank
you. We were actually, right before we were coming on here, I was asking, like, what does a holiday look like for you? And you said this is normally when you get a big order and you have 1,000 cookies. So my question I was about to ask you before we turn the mics on, now that they're on, I will ask you,
oh boy,
what does that look like? Is there a huge oven somewhere in some commercial kitchen? Is this your home and you're chucking out 1,000 cookies?
You want the visual.
And you know, by the time you're done, are you listening to KDKA all day when you're doing that?
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so it does start a few days before, and I do have just one oven.
Okay.
I am a licensed cottage bakery, so it's out of my home.
Okay. I didn't even know that was a thing.
So
okay.
the Department of Agriculture comes in and inspects your home just like a restaurant.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I can't have any pets or anything like that, but it's just one kitchen, one oven.
Wow.
And I have a chest freezer, so like I'll make the dough one day, and then I'll cut out one day, and then I'll freeze the cookies one day. put them right in the oven one day. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of like batch work.
Okay.
But I've been doing this for 5 years, so I kind of got it down.
Yeah.
And my question was, is it too late for cookies? Like people cannot be ordering.
I mean,
for holiday.
you, everyone else watching, no. But for my friends,
you are so stinking cute. But that's the crazy part is like it's here. The holiday is here, and so you have to start thinking about, okay, at what point do I cut off?
Yeah.
And what's next? Because what does happen in January? What does that look like?
It definitely is scary because January you get the resolution people.
Yes.
I need to lose weight people.
Yes.
And it's like it's a little bit scary for
and
a
you're
cookie
whispering
person.
like, but there's still a need for sweets.
What's the name we would give it for dry January for cookies?
Oh man.
Right? No dunking January. I don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, and I was telling John before is usually I have my big order in the beginning of December.
Sure.
So usually by the time Christmas rolls around, this is my
kinda rolled
first day that I've had not one thing.
Well, that's what I was. Yeah.
Wow.
And I
Today
guess,
was my first day, and I chose it to spend it with my KDKA.
Thank you.
Oh, there
Thank
you go.
you.
And I guess one thing is my rush getting cookies, but there's one thing of your life.
Yeah.
You don't want to be racing up until New Year's,
but
Christmas Eve.
I last year I did a 2,000 cookie week, so everything since then. And this year was only a 1,200 cookie week.
That's all.
But so everything. But under 1,200 cookies a week, I'm like, oh, I can do it. Like if you're like, I need 100 cookies tomorrow, okay. Like you know what I mean? Like after you've
said the
beaten
wrong thing in
Goliath.
front of Rachel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because I'm about to text John and ask him if he's interested in something I'm about to hit you with. No, and that is true though, because you've now become an entrepreneur, right? First it's a vision, then it's how does this work?
Yeah.
And now you're in the throes of it.
And
so,
a lot of it is making it up as you go, Rachel. You know what I mean?
Don't we know
And
it? Yeah.
scaling,
Make it till you make it.
You're at the point where you've scaled now, right? So at some point, there's some other part of it where you may have to get help and
I
things
do.
like that.
This year I hired an assistant.
Isn't
Her
that
name's
crazy
Christy.
to go through that life
She's
cycle of a
amazing.
business?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it without her. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just so. She handles my schedule, my scheduling on my Skylight calendar. I would die without my Skylight calendar. I don't breathe unless my Skylight calendar tells me.
Wow.
To.
Okay.
The digital calendar.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And so what is next? What are you looking at? So you've taken it to that level of here's the photo, here's how I can, take your event to the next level, but what's next?
I think I really want to focus on passion projects in 2026. I'm in the process of producing and directing my first short film.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, the cookie business, of course, is steady for me. And obviously, broadening the Sweet Snaps reach in the area. It's still something really new that
It's
I have
paying
to
the
explain.
bills and you like it.
Of course, I love it. It's my
Sure.
passion for sure.
Yep.
But there's always going to be. We're all multifaceted people, and there's. I'm hoping to pass some work off to like assistants.
Yeah.
And deal with like customer facing. I want to be more. I want to be in the email. I want to be on the phone. I want to be in person with my corporate clients, and just kind of work on stuff that I want to work on.
Well, and I'd have to,
That's great.
What's funny, we tease with Nick Mancini Hartner, who owns Mancini Bakery, 100 years old. He said, when we see him tying up sweating, putting up his signs at Picklesburg, we say, Nick, remember when they told you just have to be your own boss and you don't really have to work a day? That kind of thing. But,
but it's reinventing,
it is,
right?
But I love the fact that, it being your own boss, yes, there's a downside to it. But on the other hand, it provides you individually, this flexibility where you could go do these acting and improv things. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, what they say. I left my accounting job because I didn't want to work 60 hours a week. Now I work 24/7.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's
is
exactly
right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to flash the photos the cookie photos because they're absolutely amazing. But where can people find out more information so that if they do want to contact you, find out how they can incorporate you into their event or even look toward next year?
Yeah, so on Instagram is where you'll find me at Becca Bakes Cookies. And then also the Sweet Snap has its own Instagram now at the Sweet Snap Cookie Cart.
I love that. I just wish you nothing but the best. Honestly,
thank
as hopefully you do know, John and I we are just such supporters and cheerleaders of entrepreneurs, but small businesses. And there's nothing more than we want than to see you succeed. And you're just doing such a great job. So
we
thank you
appreciate
so
it. We're
much.
so grateful for you.
No,
And a young person who wants to stay here in this region, right? I mean, I look at that from a business standpoint is that you're a young person who wants to stay here now. That's pretty cool.
Because if you don't, it gets ugly.
We're done.
Not going back to Scranton.
No.
All right, we have a couple of Yinzer questions for you.
I'm ready.
We know you've not been here long,
Yes.
but you know what the important Yinzer things are. Is there something that would make us revoke your Yinzer card? Okay, what is it?
I'm really scared to say.
Do it.
But
Just
I have to say it.
Rip the Band-Aid.
It should not be called the Pittsburgh cookie table. It's the Italian cookie table.
Oh.
My culture is not your costume.
Oh my.
I am Italian.
Throw down.
I'm Italian. Growing up, I never even heard of Pittsburgh, and at every wedding I've ever been to,
Take
it's
us
the
off the air.
Italian cookie table. It is the Italian, and guess what cookies are on that Pittsburgh cookie table? It's the Italian cookies.
Yeah.
Stromalil. Yes,
Right.
I understand.
Oh my God.
Biscotti,
She doesn't know,
this
but I
is-
hit the dump button
I know,
to save
I
her
was
life.
like, and we
Yeah.
love you, Becca. We love you.
There's now a political ad on right now.
That's hysterical. Okay, do you have any kind of like neighborhood
That's the best one
something
ever.
we need to know about that like you know about Pittsburgh? Like, hey, I live in this area. Go
Okay,
ahead.
but also I'm not from here,
Sure,
so I
sure.
found out like last year about the Gene Kelly Awards. Do you
Oh
guys know
yeah,
about the Gene Kelly
that's
Awards?
great. Yes.
Oh my God!
yeah,
I saw
my
a play-
daughter's school won 7 last year.
It is absolutely amazing. I saw a play at Elizabeth Forward Middle School.
Phenomenal. Elizabeth Forward's
Hadestown.
great. Yeah.
I was sobbing in my seat.
Yeah.
The kids are so
That's a
talented.
great one.
Yeah.
I love that.
So please support local art, even if it's at your
Such a
local
good-
school.
I just love you. I think you need to come on all the time. And then last but certainly not least, procrastination destination, a place that you say, I'm going to get there, but I've not been.
Kennywood.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I grew up with Knoebels.
Oh,
have you
sure,
guys ever heard of
sure.
Knoebels?
Yeah, I have.
America's #1 free
Yeah.
largest amusement park. So I've not been to Kennywood because I feel like
Did the
I'm
people
cheating
from the
at
office
Knoebels.
go to Knoebels?
No,
I don't know.
think so.
Knoebels
Yeah.
is so amazing.
You know, The Office is my jam. Becca Bakes, we wish you nothing but the best. You are absolutely A1 in our book, and we are so glad that you have, entered our lives, and we just want to see where this goes next. So make sure you're following her on Instagram. Make sure you are checking out the website. And if you want a last-minute order and you slip me a 20, maybe I will say you are her friend. It is John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It's the 3rd annual Edgar Snyder and Associates Holiday Hoops Classic on Monday, December 22nd at PPG Paints Arena. It's a full day of exciting high school basketball. 4 games, starting with an 11 o'clock matchup pitting Carrick against Alderdice, and ending with a clash between Mars and Peters Township. It's brought to you by tobacco-free Adagio Health. High school basketball lives on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Planning for retirement isn't easy. If you don't know where to start, join Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors every Saturday at 1 for the Net Worth Financial Hour. Beth shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
Get connected. That's the Inside Connection this Saturday morning at 9 with your local Medicare experts from MediConnect. If you're turning 65, hear all the inside information available to seniors on the Inside Connection, presented by MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This is CVS News on the Hour, sponsored by CVS Health. I'm Allison Keys. You might want to bring a good book or movie if you're among the millions traveling for the holiday. AAA says record numbers of people on the move and nasty weather aren't helping. This man is annoyed.
We were supposed to be in Denver for 45 minutes, got redirected, sat in Colorado Springs on the tarmac for 3 hours while they refueled us, and then we took a bumpy ride over here to Denver, and now we have to find a flight tomorrow or maybe the next day.
Southern California is going to get slammed. CBS News meteorologist John Elliott.
Concern now from National Weather Service offices out of California. Landslides and mudslides. We're going to see localized flooding, mountain interaction, and copious amounts of snow. Right through the weekend, you're going to be tracking this atmospheric river, and you're going to be measuring snow by the foot and rain by the inches.
The Department of Justice released more material related to the late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Scott McFarlane.
Many of the records released have long been public already, including videos in the jail the night Epstein died, which had been obtained months ago by CBS News.
The Department of Justice sent a letter to Congress Friday night defending what they've released, saying they were being transparent and trying to protect victims.
Ukraine's President Zelensky says he would support a U.S. proposal for direct talks between teams from his nation and Russia if it paves the way for negotiations with Russia's President Putin. The BBC's Samir Hussein.
The real thorny issues with regards to peace negotiations remain. On the one hand, Ukraine did get the security guarantees that it really needed. But on the other hand, it is pretty likely that the United States at some point may ask for some land concessions from Kyiv.
It's a busy shopping day.
The National Retail Federation and Prosper Insights and Analytics estimate nearly 159 million consumers will shop today. Nearly half are expected to shop both in-store and online. Some 46 million are expected to shop exclusively in stores. 41 million will shop only online. Top destinations for those brick-and-mortar shoppers, department stores and discount stores. As of early December, consumers said they had completed just over half of their holiday shopping. That means they still have halfway to go. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
If you haven't heard the nonsense phrase 6-7, you've been living under a rock. Let's knock that off. It's annoying. Other things from 2025 that we can lose, that whole adding protein to everything trend. Sure, we need it, but in Pop-Tarts, popcorn, and cookies, nope. And don't even start us on the boo-boos. This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
If you want to buy a baseball at auction, here's a good choice.
It's the baseball that superstar Los Angeles Dodger pitcher and slugger Shohei Ohtani hit for his third home run of Game 4 of this year's National League Championship Series.
Shohei Ohtani is a worldwide phenomenon. He is the most popular player in all of sports today.
Founder and CEO of the Golden Auction House, Ken Golden, is the star of King of Collectibles, The Golden Touch on Netflix.
There's never been a performance like that, and there never will be again.
The Dodgers needed to win the game in order to win the National League pennant and go on to the World Series, which they did, thanks to Ohtani's 10 strikeouts, 5 shutout innings, and 3 homers. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Doctor's appointments can be tough to get these days, but how do you get ready for one? Experts say some people text their moms for help with health questions, and you probably should learn the names of all of your medications. Allison Keys, CBS News.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Give the taste of Pittsburgh this holiday with A La Familia's 5 and 3-piece gift boxes featuring signature sauces like marinara, vodka, Diavolo, and bolognese, plus chili oil or red wine vinaigrette. All under $60 with free shipping nationwide. Order at alafamiliafinefoods.com. The holiday season again features the City of Pittsburgh's Gingerbread House Competition, presented by Clearview. View hundreds of edible creations online and cast your vote for People's Choice Award through December 31st. Details at getinvolved.pittsburghpa.gov. Looking for holiday plans? Let Rivers Casino do the cooking for you. Visit riverscasino.com to view holiday offerings for Martirano's Prime and Wheelhouse. Enjoy a variety of seasonal dishes in addition to regular menus. Bring your friends, bring your luck, and bring your appetite.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be a mostly cloudy one, going up to 44, clearing low 29 tonight. Windy and colder tomorrow with sun at 32. Clouds increase Monday, 38. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Dager, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
He's downright entertaining, and he's on the voice of Pittsburgh. Michael Bartley, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Should we just let all the commercials play while we eat our cookies?
If there was ever a day to want to come on our show, it's today. Anna, our producer, love her,
right.
But she gets to sit in that little booth and just try all the different things.
Right. And I think the craziest thing is that our guests kind of know that you're going through a process. I've never seen you eat so many sweets in 3 hours because stop. No, because you normally say, no, I'm good. I'll just have a bite of this. You're very controlled. You're very good at controlling yourself, where I would roar. Yeah. But you're like, I'm trying every one of these things, and they're all super delicious.
It's just because I haven't really eaten.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm like, it's fine.
There you go.
It all balances out somehow. Right. But it is good stuff. And what John is talking about is I ripped the Band-Aid off and said my mom, passed away last Saturday. So it's been a week of grieving. And so we centered the show around various people who could be helpful in conquering that. Or, I mean, do you really ever conquer it? Your mom's gone a couple of years. You don't conquer it. You just figure out how to deal through.
Yeah, I think you learn how to live differently. Mm-hmm. That's all. Yeah, you certainly miss them. And as that I explained to you that there were some things that you were going through that took me back to my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not that it was a focus on me, but it just took me back, that piece of your life. But it, hopefully people that that have been through this, people are supportive of you and your family, and you can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel at some point for you, that you are able to adapt. I think that's the right word.
Well, and one of the things, even when you picked me up for today, you knew that my brother and I were going over to my dad's. I wanted him to see all the amazing cards that we got, many of them masses. So excited, to have a mass or 2 or 100 said for my mother, because people are just so good. But one of the conversations that I wanted to have, and I wasn't sure if my dad was ready yet, but believe it or not, whether we like it or not, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are going to be here in less than a week.
Yeah.
And so whether I'm ready for it or not, they're going to come. And so interesting enough, some of my family was saying, it's your call. If you don't feel comfortable, celebrating that way, we completely understand. And if it needs to be different this year to kind of cope or to kind of get your way through, fine, let us know. And for me and for my family, my immediate family, there was no question. We're still going to have Christmas, but what does it look like?
Yeah.
How's it different? So for anyone who doesn't know, most don't, we celebrate the Feast of the Seven Fishes. And interesting enough, John, you'll appreciate that I'm even going to talk about this, but I had a conversation with my parents and my oldest son, Roman, over Thanksgiving break when my son was home from college. And I said, I think we might have to scale back the Seven Fishes tradition a little bit. And the reason was economic. It was an economical reason, because we were saying that when we did this years ago, we had, honestly, at my parents' house in Brighton Heights, 70 people.
Wow.
You've been in that house.
Yeah.
How did we fit 70 people? I mean, it's a big house, but it's a house.
Yeah.
And, wall-to-wall people. There was nowhere, like, you're opening your gift on our stairs because you don't know where to go. Because in addition, I don't know if I ever told you this, my parents bought a gift for every child who came.
Wow.
So there's wrapping paper going everywhere, and there's food, and there's alcohol, and there's this party atmosphere. And sometimes it just lasted forever. And it's interesting because once I had my 3 children and my brother was having his children, we said, we want a little more intimacy. We don't want 70 people at your house anymore.
Yeah.
Because we have little kids who want to experience it. That in itself was difficult for my parents to accept. So now over Thanksgiving break, I mentioned to my parents that economically, with how the rise in food costs, specifically for seafood, has gone up so much, that it didn't make sense considering we did throw a good bit away last year because you can't keep seafood like you can ham or turkey or, as my mother would say, American food. So it was interesting because when we had the conversation with my dad today, he said, I think that it's time to scale back, and we may have a little bit of orange roughy, and we may have some shrimp scampi, and we may have scallops, but we're not going to go into the whole craze of it. So Woolies, we're sorry, we'll come another time. But
Well, and I think it's good for you at the fact that it's good for your dad because he worked so hard making two different meals essentially within the same evening, right?
Yes.
Because you would just get done eating the bouillabaisse, did I get it right?
Right.
And then they turn around and he starts making calzones.
Yes.
All homemade in the kitchen.
Well, the other thing, and I feel like I'm just talking to you with all the listeners as well, but, one of the things that we discussed today was calzones is something that the 6 grandchildren, they range from 22 to, 13. And every one of them has their favorite. Most of them like the traditional pepperoni, but my dad would take that time. And my sister-in-law, Rachel, and I were talking and saying, we should create a tradition where my dad has a day that he makes the calzones and they should all go over. Yeah. He loved that.
Yeah.
And so that's what it sounds like is going to happen.
That's cool.
Is that will become the new tradition. So it's interesting.
Talk about adapting.
That was that was the full circle. So we're pretty excited. I mean, it's going to be completely different, but excited to have something new and something different and, start our new thing.
Yeah. What is your tradition? We'll take some calls, right?
For sure.
866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. It was raviolis. It was. And
yours changed.
I don't really have tradition other than, I cook, right? I cook for all the major holidays. And, but we didn't do like you do, get together and make something all together, in various generations, all in one room, making something. My mother always made cookies. My son has continued to make cookies, and my Aunt Elsie has continued to make some of those cookies, and she sends those out. But we never really had that. But the tradition was literally just, I would cook, and everybody would come over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought last year you guys kind of went to hors d'oeuvres and apps, yes?
Yes. We simplified the cooking, just as you were talking about with your dad at this point, probably.
Rachel, my sister-in-law said that.
Yeah.
Why are we all slaving over our stoves?
It sounds very formal, but it's not. But we ended up going to a tapas kind of thing. We got some dumplings. We got this because nobody cared to sit down and eat the ham and the cheesy potatoes at 5 o'clock.
Right.
They just wanted to have fun and mingle with each other. So we put out various foods, and it will include ham. It will include some beef.
Sure.
But it'll all be walk-around stuff. And
you're not stuck in there.
Right. And that's the thing. I always think of your dad stuck in the kitchen while everybody's having a good time. And I know he likes that. Like, he liked that part, but I think it's cool that he's going to come out and be able to, hang out with everybody. It's cool.
We think so too. Because it is difficult. And I said to my sister-in-law and Rachel, and she and I end up being the two who go in there the most, and what can we do? We don't want to do that. Nothing again. I mean, we're happy to help my dad, of course, but we don't want to be going back and forth. We want to see all the happenings because you don't want to miss a moment.
Yeah.
So that's the point of it. John, it would not be a radio show if you and I did not talk about what are the crazy national days. So we will not get into, I haven't even looked them up yet, but it drives us crazy that there are these great days that you recognize, but every day anymore has multiple celebratory things.
I think I heard of a couple today on the TV news.
Oh, really?
And they sound kind of interesting. I think they'll be good fodder.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll even convince Anna to not chomp on one of the cookies and get on and weigh in.
Right.
We'll see. Anyway, we have a couple more things to chat about, including the Sister Bridges. There's more to come. It's John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply. And app only.
Hi, this is Jack Bogut. Remember Papa J's, that great Italian restaurant in Carnegie that burned down a few years ago? That left a big hole in the lives of a lot of us because Papa J's was a legendary gathering place for family and friends. And then it was gone. Well, the great news is that Papa J's is back. Now located in the Strip District on Smallman Street in front of St. Stan's Catholic Church. Papa J's. Wonderful food still made from scratch, like fried zucchini with marinara, greens and beans, street pizza, handmade pasta with sauces that make you smile, chicken parm, veal scallopini, fresh fish, and now the Troiani family's homemade gelato. Yes, Papa J's is back on Smallman Street in the Strip in front of St. Stan's Catholic Church. Open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. Papa J's is back.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tune in to KDKA Radio every Thursday at 2:37 p.m. for your weekly Medicare update with Lisa Lauro from Secure Money Health. Lisa will provide you information on everything related to Medicare and how to prepare for it. Brought to you by Secure Money Health.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Rachel and John jagging around KDK. We're here till 5 o'clock. Then we're going home, and I might have to start my Christmas shopping.
I can't.
I started my Christmas food shopping last night.
What did you get?
I got ham. Speaking of
American, as my mother would say.
And I started to collect the ancillary things, the soda, the wine. We got a little limoncello to make the limoncello spritzers again, like we did for Thanksgiving.
I don't even think I asked you. Were they so good?
So good.
What do you do again? You learned this at the Pittsburgh Magazine event.
Pittsburgh Magazine event. And so the only recipe I have is the woman actually making it. Like, you have to kind of judge. So I gave that task to my nephew, Dennis, and he made them for everybody. But it's Prosecco, limoncello, a little bit of soda water, and then crushed basil. And
was it basil or was it rosemary? I didn't want to correct you. Oh,
basil.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's basil. And then they line it with a lemon.
Did you hear me say I didn't want to correct you, but I needed to.
But you still did. Yeah, but it wasn't correcting.
So I waited till we were on air to ask people,
So
was it basil or was it rosemary?
It was definitely. I have the video. I told you.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. When I'm watching the video, you just kind of have to guestimate how much did she put in that glass.
Right. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
So it's kind of funny. But no, I found them so good. So I picked those up there. And I knew my son was coming in from out of town today, so I wanted to make a few homemade items.
Mm-hmm.
So I made some of my famous, my own famous Kung Pao chicken. A big batch of it.
It was very good last time.
And apparently it is very good today. So yeah. So now
you
tomorrow,
talked to your kids? It's good.
Yeah. And so tomorrow I will go out and actually try to start my Christmas shopping. And this year it's more of like the gift card thing, for the most part.
Yeah.
But tomorrow,
Wait. You don't do. We were talking about traditions a little bit. You were doing boxes for a while.
Stocking boxes. Yeah. So I have to get that because that's more stops.
Okay.
That's, there's multiple things. Instead of my kids having stockings with their significant others, I would give them boxes of things. Hot sauces, coffee, drink mixes, anything. And so the stocking box became what the stockings were.
Do you want to cry a little bit?
Let's do
you
it.
have any interest? Okay.
Sure.
So as I was talking about...
Do I have any interest in crying?
Do you have any interest in crying? Because I do not. I've cried enough. But as I was telling you, I went to see my dad to talk about changing the tradition with my mom's passing. And he said, look, I also recognize that your children are 22 and 18 and 16, 17 and 16 and 15 and 14. And so the tradition of the stockings, because he puts a whoopee cushion, this.
Yes.
He does it was always the epitome of the holiday, the pinnacle. My dad's stockings. He's such a good gift giver. But they are getting older. And we also, again, being economical, does my 22-year-old, what? And he said, look, I'm going to give them very small things and most likely more monetary gifts because that's what they need. They're all saving for certain things. And he said, but the little kids like Kaylee, who is his great niece, and Cameron, who is his great niece, and Valentina still have to get theirs. So I was like, oh my gosh, John will be so happy. So you go ahead and cry. Just put yourself on mute for a second there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Your parents were always so kind to her and to me. Again, I know the question earlier was different as far as absorbing, but it is literally absorbing because there wasn't a day that I didn't hear you speak to your mother in the car, or that I didn't, and you say, John's here. Say, hi, John, how are you?
Just in case you'd belch.
And things like that. So, it's obviously, it's a process for sure.
Yeah.
So, but the one thing that is a process has been the parade, the Not Your Average Holiday Parade, your Jag-Off Parade.
Yes.
And over the years, we've refined it.
Yes.
And we really refined it this year. We didn't go to the Block North way to do it. We went on the Berg bus with about 40 people, 30 people, something like that, including Cajon Concept Band, who was releasing a new song.
Yeah.
And they had everybody practice it on the bus as we were driving around downtown Pittsburgh. And then we sang the song. But when we were stopping, we stopped at 5 different places to be like these crazy little pop-up parties.
Yes.
And
is it still like an earworm? It's Christmas. Can't miss this.
Yes, it is unbelievable. I guarantee if you go see it, one, we want you to watch the video because it's fun. And maybe you have nothing else. Maybe you don't want to watch football. Maybe you don't want to watch whatever, right?
I do not want to watch football.
Right? So go watch it. Pretty much everybody's TV goes to YouTube streaming. Go over to the Jag-Off YouTube channel and watch it with your family. Second is that we want that song to go viral.
We want that song.
Because that song is really good.
So good.
And not the song we did with the kazoo, the actual one you get from Spotify.
Yeah. But even that one was good.
Yeah.
I mean, they learned it. The whole Cajon Concept was so happy that they learned it on the parade route.
So much so that halfway through the ride, they were teaching people to harmonize.
I mean, I was like, I had my finger on my ear. I said, I knew what was up.
Right.
Yeah, we were
right.
not
So
afraid.
we want you to go check out the parade because the idea of the parade is we started it when Channel 11 stopped doing the parade, and then we had COVID, so we kind of did our own little thing. And then this year, the point of it was to highlight all of the things going on downtown. With the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership.
Yeah.
There is the kids' play area over at 107th Street. You can go inside and play. You'll want to remember that for first night activities because you can even go in there and charge your phones.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's the whole Pittsburgh Holiday Market, People's Gas Holiday Market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up in the cultural district.
Did we talk about that? How great it is?
I was going to say, I talked about it the one day, and I actually like it there a lot more than I like, just because it's like streets.
You mean more than Market Square?
Yeah, because it's streets. It's very, I don't know, it's village. More villagey,
sure,
if that's a term. And
John and I are really good at putting an E at the end of stuff.
Right.
So then it becomes
we
an
stopped
adjective.
at PPG ice rink.
Yeah.
And did a little toss with the Love Pittsburgh
What do
ladies.
you think Love Pittsburgh thought of that? They were like,
when I look at their faces, there's two instances in there. Two instances. When I look at their faces of us tossing their $15 socks around, they're like, wait, what just happened here?
What are you guys doing?
And then when I say, what are we doing about the thing? You give me that look. You're like, yeah, I got it. I get a freeze framed. But it all comes off on video so well.
There's so many moments that were captured that people need to see. Like, if you're wondering who was on it, well, like we said, the Berg bus alone, if you have not ridden the Berg bus, you have got to do it. There are so many different opportunities to do that. You can just go as a mode of transportation. Tracy, her niece actually used the Berg bus as the transportation for her wedding.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. In the summer, it's a mode of transportation to go to Star Lake Amphitheater.
Yeah.
There's also a comedy routine every single Friday and Saturday night. So you have different Samantha Bentley and Matt Light, people we love, to see. Chrissy Costa, they're on there entertaining, but there's also a Steelers one, so that you can actually tour the city. In this case, they just drove 30 some of us around, and it was Cooking Comedy Chaos. It was Pittsburgh Hills, the Cajon Concept,
Doug Heilman,
Doug
Cooking.
Oh my God, so many great people. Ned, the 7 foot,
7 foot 400-pound jag.
Hysterical. I mean, it just goes on and on and on of how many great people were. And some of our just favorite, like, who've been with us a long time, Jody and Kathy Sweetsman and all those guys Felicia, people who we've known for a lot of years who are just in the festive spirit.
What moments for you were not captured on video? Like, my moment is when Kathy Sweetsman said, I got some Jameson in the back.
I didn't watch the whole thing through yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just so good.
It was good. At the end of it, we'll just give you that because we could say it, but you don't see it.
What's that?
At the end of it, we reveal one of this year's Nick Mancini Bread Arts.
Yes. And Nick was here a couple weeks ago, well, last week or 2 weeks, whatever. And he was talking about that it was unveiled at the Santa's house where you see Santa, which is the courtyard of Heinz Hall. They've not asked him. Have they since? I've been away.
I texted him the other day. They had not had him move it yet. But I know that there were high winds just in the last few days. So I don't know if it survived.
Oh, my God.
So, But I don't believe it was in Mancini's in the Strip District today. So Nick said it was nobody ever asked him to move it, so he kept it there.
Well, and speaking of that, don't forget, it'll probably be in the local news that he will unveil this year's actual one that's going to be
one of your favorite things you've ever seen.
I love, I got to tell you, Nick gave me the credit for that. It was a whim that I thought of it, and he was not sure if he wanted to do it. And I think it's going to be the best one yet.
Best one.
I've not seen it, but it's going to be pretty good. John, we have a couple more seconds. We always talk about how national days drive us crazy. Did you see it's Sangria Day? Are you a Sangria guy?
I love Sangria.
Obviously,
the red Sangria.
Oh,
red Sangria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the picture.
Your dad makes red Sangria, which
he
is
does.
really good.
Not all the time, but I don't know. Go Caroling Day. Have you ever done that?
I've gone caroling, but God, that has to be your high holy day right there. Caroling.
I've never gone caroling.
What? Not even as a kid for Children's Hospital or something?
No. Why are you making me feel bad?
Wow. No, I just know you. And it's not negative. It's like, hey, you love singing, so I just thought you would have done that.
Last but not least, Mud Day.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it recognizes the birthday of Samuel Mudd, a man whose name was Mud after his dealings with one man.
Oh, and that's why they say your name is Mud.
Your name is Mud. It's John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
It's a Pittsburgh holiday tradition. The Feast of the Seven Fishes broadcast on KDKA. Rob Pratt broadcasts live from Coons Market on McKnight Road from 5:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. Christmas Eve with special guests, special memories, and more. Presented to you by Rome Monuments, Coons Quality Foods, and brought to you by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, Nest Expressions, Window Fashions in Wexford, Catholic Diocese of Pittsburgh, AAA Travel, Ricci's Sausage, Anthony Jr.'s Pizzeria and Restaurant in Coriopolis, Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, and Dululis Law on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice
CBS
of Pittsburgh.
News Brief. American forces
100.1 FM and AM
tanker
1020
off Venezuela.
KDKA.
The New York Times says the tanker had recently left Venezuela with Venezuelan oil. On one of the busiest travel days of Christmas week, Mother Nature is making it one of the most frustrating. CBS's Katie Weiss is at Denver International Airport.
Nationwide, airports saw more than 10,000 domestic flights canceled or delayed Friday. And over the weekend, more wind and snowy weather are expected to keep the delays coming across the Northeast.
We've learned that more than 70 targets were hit in yesterday's strike by the U.S. on dozens of locations in Syria. Here's CBS's Willie James Inman.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said Operation Hawkeye Strike was aimed at eliminating ISIS targets, writing, "Today we hunted and killed our enemies, lots of them, and we will continue."
The strikes are retaliation for an ambush in Syria that killed 3 Americans a week ago. CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
It's Christmas, and don't forget the sausage. Richie's Italian Sausage has been a Pittsburgh holiday tradition for 80 years. From the Ritchie family, Merry Christmas. May your holiday be filled with God's blessings. Richie's Italian Sausage, it's what Pittsburgh eats since 1945.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Join the Washington Symphony Orchestra for Ho 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 with the WSO with a tropical twist on December 20th and 21st. The concert will feature Christmas favorites blended with sunny sounds from the islands. The WSO will be joined by the All-Star High School Choir and Canon Macmillan Steel Drum Ensemble. Tickets can be purchased at washsym.org. That's washsym.org.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Did you miss this week's Allegheny Health Network Medical Frontiers? Log on to the Allegheny Health Network website to listen to your favorite Medical Frontier show. Visit ahn.org/Medical Frontiers podcast and look for your favorite Medical Frontiers show.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be a mostly cloudy one, going up to 44. Clearing tonight, low 29. Behind a front, windy and colder tomorrow with sun, high 32. Clouds return Monday, 38. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Dagger, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It is Rachel and John jagging around. We only have a half an hour left.
I know,
and we
it's
wanted
going
to
too
talk
fast.
about this topic here because the sister bridges, everybody knows about the sister bridges.
For sure.
And they have been lit in a good way. They have been lit over the last couple of years. And I was just up at the Grandview Avenue and looking down at them. It was a very clear night, and everybody was remarking, look at those bridges, how they're lit. And look at the way the lights dance and all that kind of stuff. And people were very fascinated, taken by it. And it's hard to impress Pittsburghers, especially with the three bridges. You dress them up, right?
We love them no matter
Yes,
what.
that's right. So our next guest is someone who designed the bridges, the colors on the bridge. I shouldn't say designed the bridges. That's
What?
an engineering thing that happened a long time ago.
I had no idea.
And our current guest is on our YouTube channel, thanks to Metropolitan Window Company. So you don't look like you designed bridges at 100 years ago. Right. So welcome to KDKA. How are you?
Good. Hi. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I have no idea. It is Sally Ann. We did not even say that.
It's Sally Ann.
We
Yes,
need
yes.
we
So
need like a
Sally Ann
lower
Cleves.
third. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are so happy to bring you on. Our dear friend, mutual friend Emily, said, "I'm walking across the bridge. I'm going home at night. I'm seeing this beautiful vision, and it needs to be talked about more." She could not be more correct. John, we were literally having this discussion, and he talks about how he and a friend of his are having this exact same conversation, which means all of Pittsburgh is talking about it. So this is the third year for this particular project. Talk to us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so I am the executive director of an organization called ShiftWorks Community and Public Arts.
Yeah,
we used to be the Office for Public Art, and I did not design the lighting at all.
Oh,
He actually had you designing the bridge.
Yeah,
I mean, you
right.
were the architect.
I know that would be. Well, I am an architect, but I did not design.
All right. You're
Gotcha.
like, let's back it down a bit here. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but I can't take credit for the actual design.
Okay.
What I have been part of has been the project to activate the bridges by creating a process where ever since the new lighting, which was installed 3 years ago as part of the renovation of the bridges, when it was turned on, one of the things that a group of organizations was saying to the county who facilitated it is, we really should do something with this lighting that is special for Pittsburgh. I mean, we know that we're going to celebrate our sports teams. We know we're going to celebrate different holidays through changing the colors of the lighting. What if at the darkest time of the year, we hired an artist to create a magical experience and story for their interpretation of Pittsburgh, their interpretation of these bridges. And it goes on at light up night and it turns off at first night. And so for the past 3 years, we've been partnering with the county, with the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership, River Life, Pittsburgh History and Landmarks to select artists with connections to Pittsburgh who are proposing designs for how they'll program the lights. So this is, and like I said, it runs for about 6 weeks. In our first year, we worked with artist Rob Long, who is based here in Pittsburgh, and he did a project which was essentially interpreting pictures of the river, projecting them and water and ripples onto the bridges. If you've seen the bridges, you realize that this is a really highly controllable, detailed lighting. Last year, a group called Rainbow Serpent did a project called The Three Sisters, which was the story of the West African goddesses who are sisters, and really captured the essence of these three different entities on the bridges. And then And this year, we have a phenomenal work called 3 Scores in Blue, which is by artist Shakeith. And it is a tribute to the legacy of jazz in Pittsburgh, and a love letter to the Hill District, which, as we all know, is a critical not just to the legacy of Pittsburgh, but the legacy of this country as a whole in terms of arts and music.
Yeah.
And it's really a remarkable piece.
So it's interesting because when I read the press release about the blues, and I remember I saw the bridges before I saw the press release, and I was impressed with the bluish color, the colors, and now I read the press release, and I get it now. It really was. It was a cool thing. Last year, I know that was the Three Sisters. There were multiple colors, and this year, it really does dig into the blues, jazz background and the blues of Pittsburgh. So I love that fact. And so what happens as far as when does the timing for someone to get selected? Like, the reason why I'm asking is we know what's going on now. If someone is interested in doing this, when do they apply to see if they could be the person selected next year?
Yeah, so we have, it was a great question. We have a program called the Pittsburgh Creative Corps that we run, which is an open roster for artists who live and work in southwestern Pennsylvania. Any artist, visual, performing, literary arts, who's interested in working in public space. That is a call that's open in all year round. You can apply at any time via our website. And then that actually serves as a platform for us to start reviewing who are the artists who are in that pool, who might be a good fit for this project. And then working with the county and our other partners, we identify a short list of artists from that pool, and maybe some others who are invited in or recommended by partners to how we hire them to do a fee. We have a small fee that we pay them to do a proposal.
Okay.
So we show them, here are the bridges. We're going to pay you for you to do some initial thinking about it. So I think it's usually 4 to 5 artists. They're paid to do a proposal, learn a little bit more about what is possible on this lighting. And then from that, select one artist who is given the commission and paid has a full contract to design the lighting and work with the lighting engineers who help them program it. What's really amazing is that, the first couple of years we worked with artists who had real background in lighting design. Rob Long is a lighting designer. This year, Shakeith, who is a photographer and videographer, he does a lot of work, but has not designed lighting per se, at least to the best of my knowledge. And what's really amazing is that we've really seen how having an artist concept can be translated into a vision that's telling a story, and people really get it.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, is that tying in the art, I love that Pittsburgh has done a much better job as of late, making sure that people know we are not just a sport town. We are not this, we were just known as the steel town, and they have some great sport teams. And now we're really showcasing our art in unique ways beyond our museums, beyond our festivals, and really showing it on unique parts like lighting. I mean, who would have thought that this is a display that you can have a conversation about versus just saying, why is there some blue on the bridge? To me, that's the important part, that there's a story behind it.
Yeah. No, really true. And I'm really hopeful. This is the 3rd year we've done it.
Right.
I'd love to see it become a tradition. I mean, it's a gift to Pittsburgh every year.
But isn't year 3 a tradition? I mean, I think once you've hit 3 years, we're in the tradition phase, right?
And I love the fact that there's multiple phases of it, because there's the phase where you're walking across it, and you're within the art. And then there's the phase when you're way up on Mount Washington looking down on it going, wait, I see something completely different, but it's still really cool. And I love the fact that the county has dedicated funds to do this. It shows, just kind of how progressive we really are becoming as far as Rachel said, supporting the arts.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's
a really wonderful story.
No, go ahead. It is a wonderful story, and it has to be difficult. And we're running out of time on this segment, but I know you're going to stick around with us, so I will kind of tease it. But I love the fact that multiple people. This isn't just something where a couple of River Life and the PDP and the county and the historical landmark folks are getting together and saying, like, let's choose a person. There are multiple people who are interested in doing this, which tells me the art community is strong, and there is a reason that this should be here. So I love that fact, but I want to know who was on the panel discussion to figure out who in the heck of all these artists gets to do it. So I want to know a little more about that process and figure out how and who is deciding that, because kudos. The last 3 years have been fantastic. And like John said, these colors are just shining bright, and it's such a testament to our city. And the jazz piece is just absolutely awesome. So if you could stick around with us, Eliane, we have one more segment. You will finish us out, and we have a couple of Yinzer questions. You can give the website so people can learn more. It is John and Rachel. It's the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
You've heard the stories. Now talk about them with Michael Bartley. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is not Michael Bartley. It's John and Rachel jagging around in place of Michael Bartley. You know you're doing a good job at your work when they have to find 2 people to replace you, right?
That's a good point.
So that's Michael Bartley.
That
so we
is
are
a
here
good
filling
point.
in.
And we miss him.
We do miss him, and we miss going back and forth. We have Sally Ann Clues here as the executive director of Shift Work. Did I get the whole thing right? Did I even pronounce
She is not the bridge maker. She is not the lighting designer.
You're like, John, read the notes before you get on the air. So, but you are representing the artwork that's on the 3 sister bridges here in Pittsburgh, and we were remarking about how cool it is. And we, I'm a more of like I'm not not totally like just technical, but I'm kind of artsy, but I did not understand last year's much, but I did love the light show of it. This year, it really connects to me, and again, as I told you, I saw the lights, then I read the press release, and I'm like, that's awesome. So I have a really silly question, a John kind of question before we go into our Yinzer questions, but how did these things work? Are they filled with gas, or are they LED, and are there sort of, you dial up colors on each tube? Can you give us like the John version of this thing?
Yeah, I mean these are LED lights.
Okay.
And so what you're seeing is that I don't know the exact size of it, but essentially each strip of lights that's on the bridges is made up of individual units of LED lights.
Oh, okay.
Each one is programmable to a different color. So if you were to smush them all together, you'd almost could have a screen effect.
Oh, wow.
So you can actually project. You can put photos into it, and they're not going to look like a photo per se, but they can you can really program every single light individually. So you can start to get just a huge array of colors and effects. And so then in addition to that, there are the light washes that go onto the towers.
Yes.
And those are lights that are shining at something. But again, they're also LED. So, you have an array of millions of colors that you can use. And then each of the artists, they get access to software that controls them, and they can visualize on the computer. They can try different patterns. They can plug in if they wanted to put images in, they can put those images, and the computer will say it's going to be pink here and blue here.
Wow.
And break it down. It's really quite impressive.
We need to get in.
What's amazing?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, like in there are cities that have light-based artworks on bridges, but it's usually like a one-time, one artist, one project, and they cost millions of dollars.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of technology involved, and there's a lot of lighting. And so when the amazing thing about this, what the county was doing was that they were relighting the bridges, which was part of the renovation.
Sure.
And took advantage of the opportunity to give artists access to something that a really high visibility profile project that they would never otherwise, it would be very rare for them to have access to. And so, we get to tell a different story each year.
I want to get in the master control room of where that computer is.
She said, no, you screwed up her title. She's not letting you in there. No, but Sally Ann, we left a little bit of a cliffhanger because we were saying how so many artists, are hoping for this position. How is it decided on the artists that you decide upon?
Yeah, so like I said, initially we look at applicants through the Pittsburgh Creative Corps as well as some who are recommended. Whenever we do selection panels for public art, we have a selection committee that includes folks who would represent the client or the primary stakeholders, like the county. We'll always have someone from there, other partners on there, and then looking and identifying other community members. So a lot of times we look to other artists who are on the Creative Corps, who have shown that they have interest in working in public space and that they want to collaborate. And we will hire them to actually sit on the panel so that they become familiar with what the process of application is, because that's a really opaque thing for people who are interested in public art. They don't get to see that side of it. But they're also, the artists aren't separate from communities. They are part of our communities. And so we look to see, across the region, who is there, who would be interested, who hasn't had a chance to participate in this, and just try to really bring more voices into the conversation.
And if you're wondering what we're talking about, it is the 3 Scores in Blue that is going to be happening on each of the sister bridges until first night. And I love that it's becoming a tradition, and it starts at Light Up stand-up night, and it concludes on first night. So it's just we're calling it a tradition. You can blame us, Sally, and you can say these two.
Oh, good.
And Rachel will let you say annual.
And right,
So
we're
that's-
in an
that's
annual
Rachel's
position. Yeah, I
hang up
can't
is you
stand
can't
when
say
it's
annual.
right.
Yes.
That's right. All right, so we do want to get the website so that people can learn more about the origin and a little more about the artist and how it all works. But we have to get you to answer a couple of questions. So number one, what would make us revoke your Yinzer card?
Oh, I'm embarrassed. In Pittsburgh, I'm embarrassed to say, but I am not a fan of professional sports.
No worries.
I
Yeah.
don't okay. Yeah.
We've had that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's maybe not such a big one.
It's okay.
It's a little. The thing though that I love about Pittsburgh and the sports is how everyone, almost everyone, except for myself and my husband, loves sports.
I love that. Okay. Is there a No, you're fine because you're not the only one. You are not alone. It's not just you and your husband, I swear. But in addition, is there a procrastination destination where you say, I'm a Western Pennsylvanian, I'm proud to be here, I love everything that we do, specifically the art, but there is a place that I've said, I'm gonna get there, but I've not been yet. Where is that place?
Yeah. It's actually already gone. It's the Igloo, the Civic Arena. Never.
Really?
I mean, I parked outside of it, but I never.
Oh my gosh!
I never went to a concert, and obviously, I never went to a sporting event.
That's so funny.
And and it's like, oh wow, I waited too long. It's gone.
Wow,
that is too funny. Any kind of a nuh-uh. So when we refer to a nuh-uh, I say all the time, although we do the JAG thing, I really do try to articulate. But I do find myself sometimes falling into the nuh-uh if I get a juicy detail. Is there some kind of a neighborhood nuh-uh that we need to know about that you actually have a little nugget of information on?
Yeah, well, it goes back to my public art in my own neighborhood, which is East Liberty.
Okay.
So it's a great place. There is this was my nuh-uh, which I stumbled across a couple of years ago. There is, I don't know if folks know who Thad Mosley is, but he is this phenomenal Pittsburgh artist. It's just absolutely incredible. There are 3 bronze Thad Mosley sculptures that are right outside of East Side Bond in the plaza across from Target.
Did not know that.
It was literally like, I think I was grabbing something and walking through and I was like, this looks like Thad's work.
Rachel.
When did this happen?
Nuh-uh. That is such a good nuh-uh. That's one of the best ones we've ever had.
Yeah, that is good.
Oh,
seriously, no, excellent work. And thank you so much for bringing this gift of art to our city and helping curate such a good display that people get to enjoy for such a good amount of time. Where can everybody find out more information?
Our website, shiftworkspgh.org. So that's shiftworkspgh.org. Has information about this project. It has information about the Pittsburgh Creative Corps, if there are artists who are interested in learning more and becoming part of it, as well as our other events and programming.
Love it. Sally Ann, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out our amazing sister bridges and the 3 Scores in Blue. It is John and Rachel, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
With Rich Fitzgerald, Executive